Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 186 of the CAF Update. Yeah, we've had a very fun week, haven't we? Galactus Hungers. I see Mikhail's in the chat early today. We had a guest appearance from Galactus on last night's show, and last night's show was a lot of fun, especially with Galactus showing up. He spared the Earth one more time. We didn't even need the assistance of Reed Richards to step in and protect us all. We lived to fight another day. But yeah, so it's good to be here. We've had a very busy week here at CAF HQ. I think a lot's been accomplished and a lot still needs to get accomplished. But I've got some updates for you on some things that we've been working on around here, and I've got a few other updates. I got a package that came in from 4C. I wasn't expecting. I was thinking it was going to be something else in its box. So we'll open up that later. And yeah, just we've got a few things to update you on throughout tonight. I actually have a surprise CAF Cribs video that came in the last 30 minutes. So I pulled it together, and we'll be showing that off in a little bit too. So yeah, lots to talk about it. But number one Marvel fan, the State of the Original Art Union tonight? No, that's not happening. I'm not giving one of those. Maybe next week. So so we'll get going on things. So we got Bob and Joey in the green room. So as you know, they've always got their drink and draw going on, and it happened last night or today, if you want to look at it that way. But we're going to show the clip, and then we will have those gentlemen in the studio, and we'll talk to them about what they've been doing this last week.
Hello, America. Welcome to another episode of Drink and Draw. I'm here with the former president of Drink and Draw, Simone, and the now and current president, MPO. And MPO, tell them what tonight's theme is. The Oscars, because this is Oscar weekend, and apparently you guys really love award shows here, because they've been advertising the Jesus hell out of them on television. So we are doing anything Oscar related, which means films that were characters who appeared in Oscar nominated or winning films, animated films, special effects films, whatever, but anything Oscar related. And we're going to get some weird stuff, right? For sure. But that's our theme for tonight. On with the show. Thank you, guys.
I know what's going to win.
Here, let them see your giant eyeball.
That way they know it's you. Ah, yes, okay.
There we go.
Madam Web is not going to get nominated for an Oscar. It's not going to get nominated for anything. No, it might get a Razzie. It's probably one of the worst films ever done. It was written by the same guy, apparently. That one was too well. Yeah, no, that's Hollywood for you, right?
Are you drawing Parasite? All of that? Oh.
Wait.
No.
No. More like, oh, yeah.
No. Oh, that was pudding.
No.
No, I agree.
Hey.
Pudding. That's why I was like, no.
Chu Young is here with his friend.
Hey, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
186 episodes. Holy bro, man.
Oh, really?
I've been doing this a long.
This is 186, Joey.
I think we're on episode 36 for you guys. So you came in right.
I had a
Wow.
crabgasm. I had a crabgasm when you said Galactus showed up last night. All right. Being one of the few guys who actually draw Galactus from memory, it's like I went, oh, crabgasm. You know,
You missed out. Yeah, we had Galactus on for a full 20 minutes last night on the show, and he didn't sell any artwork, but he.
Full regalia.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have a screenshot, or I'd show it to you. But well, here I can't. Let's see. What does this look like?
The skies are gray, and it's wet and cold outside. The kind of day that Galactus likes to maybe throw a few galaxies into the old furnace and enjoy a day warm and at home. It's not sweet like honey, karma is a cat, purring in my lap cause it loves me, flexing like a goddamn acrobat, me and karma vibe like that.
There you go.
Oh my God, that's worth the price of admission right there. Oh my God. How did you
Yeah, and that's true. Galactus did close the deal right at the end of the show for a piece of Ed McGuinness art. I forgot about that, but yeah, that was not part of the show. That was a meme I had floating around here with Mikhail dressed as Galactus. But we had an amateur dueling dealers episode last night, and for fun, he threw the Galactus helmet on and did the recap where he wheels and deals with it on there, and it was entertaining.
Joey is a big Galactus fan too, so I
have a Galactus right here. The rest of him's over there, but I need to paint him.
I was gonna say you got to paint that thing.
Yeah, he's been needing to do that for a while.
It's like I don't know, like
it's
30
funny
inches
how
tall,
that job
like
just keeps him busy.
That
job of him keeps him really busy. So Joey, we had some really great. I already showed him mine because I did Iron Oscar because again I always do Crashly commercial stuff that I know Joey can sell, because it's for charity.
This one,
we got to remind people that it's for charity, so it's always about selling this stuff. Joey, you froze up a little there. Okay. Yeah, but
that was
best armored hero.
Yeah, you want to show them the rest of them because
the rest of them. Okay.
Cosmo love these.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Nude Pinocchio, man, naked Pinocchio.
Goes on that guy.
Oh, I love naked Pinocchio, man.
Got a little Oscar down there.
Cindy would make this.
Oh man, I just think that's hilarious. That made me literally laugh out loud when I saw it.
There's Alicia's
silhouette
that we saw. This was the friend of the Pinocchio girl.
That's actually real. I thought that was really impressive that she knocked that out in a couple hours.
Right. So we had a mix of different things of people showing some of their favorite Oscar-winning movies. Some others doing there.
That's Parasite. Toy Story is Parasite.
Wow.
And Impios.
Yes.
Did you do one of these, Joey?
What's that?
Did you make one?
I didn't do one this week.
I saw you sitting at the table. You were just
I was talking to one of the guys. There's another restaurant owner that came in, and we were talking shop.
Talking shop. Check Leo. That's great.
The favorite actor ones.
Yeah, that's from Impio's friend who nobody knows his name.
We just call him. But.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, a variety of different stuff. This was my favorite one from the night. Was the Oscar.
Look at that! I love that Oscar.
Very appropriate.
Isn't that wonderful, man? I absolutely adore that.
So So we're not expecting any Oscars for Madam Web, are we?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Of all the Oscar-winning, Oscar-nominated films, like, which ones have you guys seen?
Not many. I hate to say, I didn't go to the movies too much in 2023.
Either, yeah. I don't think I've seen any of them.
It's all fake anyway, you know. I worked out there for years. They already know in advance who
No,
won.
Barbie's real.
You know. It's a long story. I won't go into it here, but yeah, it's showbiz. It's, you know, the most self-congratulatory industry in the world. You know, so you know, yeah, who cares?
They have a 6-hour award show of them patting each other on the back.
Yeah, and a bunch of movies that nobody's seen. You know, it's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know,
They made the trophy look like this. I'd start watching
again. That's true.
Listen, like I thought of that before.
I love the Galactus, the Galactus video that, like I said, they gave me a crabgasm, and you know, yeah. But hey, you know, you've been working on some commissions too. I do have those queued up so we can show them off. I only a few this week. Yeah, this one that this was fun actually to do. This was for Spencer. You know, he has for one of his clients or whatever. But that was kind of fun to do. That was one of my favorite Buscema covers. So you know, that was fun to knock that one out. Again, I don't do them exactly. I try to kind of make them my own as much as possible. You know, to staying true to the layout or whatever. But yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
This is really strange because this actually came from my friend's and former business partner Skip Farrell, who's a total DC guy. If you know Skip, he's a total DC guy, but he lives in Phoenix, and a friend of his, he commissioned this from me because she apparently loves the Phoenix because she lives in Phoenix. So I'm blackmailing him on the air right now by saying that he actually commissioned a Marvel piece. Okay, it's probably the only Marvel piece that Steve Farrell ever commissioned. You know.
Well, it's a gift.
That was also my first
we
issue.
can forgive him for that.
That was my first and only issue of X-Men that I actually inked with Dave Cockrum. I was supposed to be the regular inker on that book. I did one issue. Took a contract with DC. You know, it's like they offered me $5 more a page back then, and so I went. So of course, then some guy named John Byrne takes over. You know, John Byrne and Terry Austin, and the rest is kind of history, right? But it worked out nice because I came back from DC with Michelini, and we started Iron Man, and as you know, then the rest was history again.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it all worked out fine.
Did you enjoy your brief move over to DC there with that agreement?
No, it was very tumultuous, but the only good thing came out of it was my partnership with Dave. We worked together with Star Hunters and Claw the Unconquered, but he and I had a great, plotting rapport. And when the implosion was about to happen, we got a warning from Paul Levitz, that we might want to get out of Dodge because we were on a bunch of shit books that nobody cared about. They were guaranteed to be canceled, right? So I said, I know some people at Marvel. Let's go over there and let's try out for a book over there together as a writing team, plotter inker thing. And so of the 3 books that were available over there, I mean, when I found out the Iron Man was available, I jumped at it, because I had all my life I wanted to get my hands on Iron Man. And it just so happened that the new penciler on the book who had done the issue before was John Romita Jr., brand new John Romita Jr., just taken out of the box, still had the new car smell, and it's like, and Johnny and I immediately meshed. And as I said before, the rest is history.
Yeah. How closely did you work with him when you guys were doing the book?
Oh, well, Johnny and I became best buds, I mean, it was Johnny did breakdowns for me. After a while, he started to pencil, and then he realizes, hey, Bob's going to put all the shine and the weird stuff in anyway, the zipper tones and all that kind of stuff. He goes, so, why am I killing myself? So, basically he and I kind of worked out a deal where he would just do, like, I would call it heavy breakdowns. and and then let me just add the look to it, because I had a very specific idea of what I wanted that book to look like. And Johnny, he didn't have a problem with me. That's why we did a crap load of issues together. And he came back later and we did a second run with Johnny as well. I was about to do a third run when I got the offer to go to Valiant. So, I kind of left Johnny high and dry, but he wound up working with Byrne on, but we did one issue together as writer and penciler, and then off I went to Valiant. And as I said again, the rest is history. Sorry,
I muted Joe. We were getting some weird feedback on his iPhone. I don't know if you could hear that too, Bob. At least it was kind of like a wind in the willows.
Very starched underwear. That's why you can hear it.
Yeah.
I turned it back on. So what's in store for us next week? I mean, you didn't get out, you didn't sample any interesting foods this week.
There was no crabgasm this week.
Okay.
But we're looking. Well, part of it too is that Joey's been busy because, like I said, his brother-in-law is in town.
Yeah.
And which actually brought up a really interesting thing last night, because although he lives in the States, he works in Bangkok, right?
He works a lot in Southeast Asia.
So they're going. He puts on exhibitions and stuff. So he just asked me if I'd be willing to be a guest at one of these exhibitions in Bangkok. So Joey and I are talking about doing some promotional stuff, maybe a new variant cover, new Iron Man variant cover, or something we can do. I don't know what the dates are going to be, but obviously I'm heading to Tokyo in May, and then when I get back here, we're going to be working on Bangkok. And if Ziggy ever gets a hold of me, maybe we'll go to the Philippines after Bangkok.
I'm going to make sure that it's going to happen after the show.
I lost faith in him, because he was like, "Oh, I'm so excited! I'm so excited!" And then
Ziggy's a busy guy, but we're gonna pin him down for this. So we're gonna make this happen.
After Tokyo, I'll come back and then we'll work out the details. And as we get the Bangkok thing worked out, because that's going to be fun on the road with Bob Layton. Where in the world? Because we
need you traveling around again, so we can.
Well,
so we can actually
part of it is, Bill, I had to settle in here first. I'm still struggling with my lawyers to try to get permanent residence. So I don't have to leave every 90 days. But the whole idea is, once I'm settled in here, I got my own Korean phone yesterday, thanks to Simone. She actually got me my own Korean phone number, which means now I can order out. I couldn't order out anything because without a Korean number, they won't do it. And I can order from Coupon, which is like the Korean Amazon.
Okay.
So now I'm there, and my friend Nick downstairs, who's a law student, he's coming up today to get my lawyers what for, because I pay them $7,000 to help me expedite my citizenship, my residence, and they've done nothing so far. So Nick's going to call them and give them what for in Korean today. Once we're off the show here.
Everybody needs a good lawyer sometimes.
Well, I have a great lawyer in the States, as you know. Mr. Lovett Esquire there. But it's like I don't think he's up on Korean immigration law. And I hired these people, and so far they haven't done a whole lot. So Nick's going to try to kick them in the ass today to see what we can do about that. But once I'm all settled in here, and then I can actually start to travel Asia, because I want to do that. I want to. That's one of the reasons why I'm here right now, is because I figure from here I can go to Taiwan, I can go to Singapore, I can go, because Joey he goes to Vietnam all the time, and Bangkok with his wife all the time on little mini vacations. It's a commuter flight, almost,
Yeah.
So give me a chance to explore, Asia once I'm based and settled in here,
Well, we need you on the road a little bit more. Settled in Seoul, but with Bob Layton doesn't sound as good as Where in the World is Bob Layton. So
no, it's going to be Where in the World, because eventually I got to leave to go do the Helix anyway. But we're not even sure where we're going to film that yet. So we're still trying to get these actors to agree to take millions of dollars of our money to stand in front of a camera. You wouldn't believe how difficult it is to get somebody to agree to it.
Hey, if you want me to star in your film, just let me know.
This is why I hate actors, because they're just, it's like herding cats,
Casper wants to know, when are we going to get story time with Bob Layton?
Anytime you want. I got stories out that you do. Ask Joey. I got stories. Last night I was telling the story of Libra. Everybody was asking me about my because Joey actually brought it up.
Well, first Turok came up, and
because they didn't know that I wrote the N64 game, and so everybody lost their minds because apparently they all played it when they were younger, And then Joey says, "Oh, you should tell them about Libra." I'm like, "Duh." Because it's like a cautionary tale of what not to do in Hollywood. Because I wound up writing softcore porn for Cinemax accidentally.
Whoops.
I got stories. I'll tell them. Don't go look up Libra, okay? Because trust me, it is the story I wrote never made it to the screen, and it's a long story. But if we want to have story time, that's more like for an episode of WTF.
Yes, exactly. Those would be like 5 to 10 minute episodes where you have one topic, you tell the story, and we roll it. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, sure.
So
after hours,
Casper wants to do that. He wants to do a couple episodes of what WTF that we can run. Then that definitely, because I got some nightmare stories, definitely. But yeah, they all did last night. They lost their mind when they found out that I'd done the Turok game, because apparently they all played it as kids. They had no idea. I was kind of shocked myself because I didn't think much of the game. I thought there was too much fog in it personally. But
everyone's searching Google right now for.
Because I named the monsters, the big lumbering monsters, Perlins, after Uncle Don Perlin, who worked at Valiant there too. Because Don's a big lumbering guy, right? So I named him Perlins, which he was not happy about. He didn't
find it.
No, he didn't find it amusing at all. But he's never found me amusing. It's like I love Uncle Don, but it's like even when we were doing the bad eggs, he's like, "I'm doing this about dinosaurs who throw poop." We're gonna do Ghost Rider or something like that. I have to do dinosaurs who throw poop.
Well, come on, he was a seasoned professional. He wants some, A-list heroes and villains to work on. That's
#1 Valiant books. He was on that forever. It's like, he can't complain. All right. It's like he made a brand new career for himself at Valiant. So, let's give Uncle Don his props. But, he's also was a chronic complainer. So, no matter what you did, and
it's hard to keep him happy or hard to get him happy.
I'll admit that probably naming the monsters Perlins was probably not the
I don't think I would have liked that.
Sometimes, it's like, what can I tell you? That's just the way it goes. It's good to be the king. When you're the king, you can do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this week I didn't get much done in terms of commissions or whatever because it was tax week for me here. So I was doing my taxes too. So that's why we only had a couple of commissions done. But that's over with, thank goodness. So I'll be taking on some more commissions and stuff like that until we get this whole immigration thing settled. But so we are going to do Tokyo, and it looks like we're going to do Bangkok. All right, so we will be on the road. So if Ziggy gets his shit together, maybe we could add the Philippines to that as well. And we can get rid of the world.
As soon as this show is over, I'm sending you both an email, so there'll be no excuse not to reply.
And that way we can find out we can get back to where in the world is calmly,
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looking forward to whatever you guys produce for me for next week. And it won't be story time, but we'll talk with Casper about that and figure out how we can work a story time with Bob into a future episode. I think that's good.
I think it should be Casper and I together, like in a room or something. It's like,
I don't know what Casper's talking about, but that does sound like it could be your crowning last.
Oh my God, Cass! You are such a prick. Do not bring that up, okay?
Okay, now we all want to know. But that'll be, I think we saved that for the last episode, the very last story time with Bob, because it must be pretty
lawsuit,
pretty embarrassing.
It's like definitely. But as he knows, I have a million of them. Last night I told a couple, with the group, just to entertain them while they were drawing.
Mm-hmm.
But never a dull moment. Never a dull moment, Bill. So tell me what's on today's show, man.
I don't have any other special guests. I've got some videos to play and a few things to talk
that's it.
about.
Goodbye, everybody. Good night. Thanks for tuning in.
So yeah, I actually promised everybody that this might be the shortest CAF update I ever do. So it'll be less. I'm hoping it's less than 2.5 hours. So that's my goal tonight is to set a new time record by not being long-winded. So we'll see. It usually doesn't work, but we'll see.
Joy and I'll be watching. So anyway, have a great show, and thanks for having us on as usual. Okay, and Joey,
you got it, guys.
Today, okay? After I'm done. All right.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
And it wasn't tomorrow. It'll be next week, of course. But so what do we got going on here? That's I don't want to know what the hotel deadline drug runner story was, but maybe we'll find out sometime in 2024. I can only imagine, but I don't want to. So what do we got going on here? I teased the some CAF update stuff that we've been working on, site update things, and it's not really ready for prime time. But I wanted to show you how it works because I was messing around with it the last couple of days, just testing it for Maureen, and I like it a lot. That was that whole multi-select optional searching stuff that we put together for the app that will make its way down to the website, site searching and all that kind of fun stuff. But after Maureen did the work for the the programming that she needed to do to hand over to the app developer, she kind of left this page out there for me to just mess around and test with. So I can show you now. Again, it's not how it's going to look when we finally roll it out into the app or CAF. It'll be one of those fun fly out multi-select app funky windows. But in this example, we have like art type, media type, and status. So like you can come into here and say, show me every cover and title page that was done in paint, acrylic, oil, or watercolor, and go take a look for it. And it comes back with 66 results out of the 7,000 plus or whatever that was in there, and just gives you those results. Oh my God, there's a new. Did everybody had their eyes closed when that scrolled by, right? I knew I shouldn't have done a color option here. Now I have to scroll past it just to get a different search in there. There's an app. There's an app coming. Jason, where have you been? And let me go really fast. There we go. You didn't see that thigh gap, and I mean that was like full on nudity. My goodness, where on earth are my moderators? How did that one get past the censor group? But anyway, let's see what else here. What else can I search for? Take off. We'll just go with let's splash pages, and my goodness, now I'm embarrassed. Splash pages, and I mean, are there any color pencil and painted stuff? Let's see what we get here. Only 4 results. But bottom line is rather than looking at 7,000 results, you get to be able to easily filter those results. Can I just search by nudes, Marcus? No, but they will randomly appear when you least expect them. That's the beauty of comic art fans. You never know what you're going to get. Snork picked that nude this week. I hope he didn't. It is up there, Marcus. It always is. And I know that we haven't looked at those kind of metrics in a long time. But either way, you see how cool this thing is going to work out, everybody. If you're really only interested in, again, it's back to like double page spreads that whether it's a spread or a splash, and you like title pages too, and you only want to see the like ink wash pieces. What do we get? I have no idea. No results. So there are no ink wash pieces that match that criteria. Pencil only. What do we get? There's got to be some pencil only in this thing. 4. So there you go. But look at that. It works. It's going to work well. Yes. Can we search on what if? Grant Riddle, those are two noise words. I think both of those are verboten at the moment, or I think one of them works. I can't even remember. Single page spread. Yeah, that's an interior page. We don't have, that's a splash page. But anyway, my goodness. I guess Richard Friend saw his Vader in there. Can I search for 40% splashes? Not yet, Casper, but if we make that one of the art types, I think that would be possible. My goodness. But since Marcus brought it up, I mean, I'm curious as well if I can find what the current keyword search is. It's not always nude, Marcus. It always depends on the type of clientele that we have on CAF at any given moment. Here and see, I'm smart now. I'm actually loading it in a different window so I don't embarrass myself. So I can actually show this now. So let's see. In the last day, what are the top search criteria? We have to get down past some stuff. So man, I don't know. That's weird. Spider-Man. So Spider-Man. So where's the word nude? The word nude is not even in the top 20. We got Perez and Red Sonja, Frazetta, Finch. Come on. I don't even see the word nude in this set. So we don't have any pervs on the site. Okay, sexy. Sexy made it. 95 searches in the last 24 hours had the word sexy in it. Only the word sexy. So I'm still looking. I'm still looking for anything that's incriminating in here. I'm not seeing anything. Nope. But hey, just for the sake of seeing it, do we have a nude? No. So nude is not even in there at all. So is Larry one of the top searches? No. No, Larry is never in the top searches there. But that was good. I'm glad that that didn't cause me anything embarrassing there. But where was the other thing? I know we have some other searches that are usually some metrics on keyword searching in here, but I don't go to it too often in this wonderful admin that I put together for myself. I'll look for it later. But at any rate, new site search. We're definitely going to roll this stuff down to CAF at some point in time because it's too darn good not to have it available for everybody. Milo Manera searches. Okay, they are. Fortunately, Sexy Galactus. I don't think there will ever be a search quite like that done by anybody. And if there is, my goodness, I don't know what to think of that person. That's not going to be somebody that we want. We want to know what their favorite stuff is on CAF, right? Can you make this page of followed galleries not move the names around? What does that mean? Can you make the page of followed galleries not move the names around? I'm not sure what that means, Jason. You'll have to elaborate in an email. I don't really know what that means. I know what the followed galleries are. Richard Friend, Nude Modoc. Wait, I'm not going to say who might search for Nude Modoc, but they may work for this company one way or another. And I'm trying to find that search page without wasting too much time here. But site search phrase counts. That was the one, isn't it? Let's see. No, that's not the one. Anyway, I'm not going to kill myself looking for it. But country counts, no, not there either. Well, sorry, I'm just looking through this list. Thought I'd show you some more fun data, but that's right. I don't search, I find. Okay, yeah, all fun. So, but I'm glad that everybody approves of the new search. That's going to be a very useful tool for everybody. With Black Viper Adorance, I saw a pretty hot Lady Savage Dragon this week. Search that, please. I'm afraid to, man. Lady Savage Dragon. I might do that. Everybody can do that on CAF right now, and we'll see what comes up. Kaz or something like so. I don't know. Jason, you don't have any gripes. They are ordered by last update. You mean on your watched gallery stuff? Is that what you're talking about? I guess I don't know really. If we're talking about the same thing, I mean, are we talking about this page, Jason? I don't really know. If you're talking about the ordered by last update, you said, can you make the page of followed galleries not move the names around? Okay. What do you mean not move the names around? What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means because when you go to it, it orders by the last gallery that you that was updated that you follow, right? So I don't know. I'm not understanding. They are not alphabetical. They move. Is Jason on like shrooms or something? What do you mean they move? I'm sorry, man. carrying on a conversation about it, but I have absolutely no idea what you'd want there, because this is ordered by last updated, which would be the most. I know Stephen Cash is laughing. Jason, I don't know. Did you do? I don't even want to know, man. But they don't move. They move when somebody else makes an update that you're following, and it lets you. He does not want the list reordered by recent post. I don't get it. He does not want the list ordered by recent post. You just want to be able to order it by last name, right? Well, that's what I just did right there. I ordered it by. That is your option to looking at your list of followed galleries, is to order by last name. So it defaults to yes. So you can't find the name when you want to. I don't know. You're going to have to be more specific. Well, Jason, I'm happy to address your concerns anytime you want. I guess I'm just not following you on it, because you can order by name, or you can get it by last updated time. Bring Jason on the show so we can go to 4 hours. No, every time I see Jason's Facebook profile photo, I'm like, this guy, he wants everybody to think he's like Oscar the Grouch. He's got that crazy drunken New Year's Eve Halloween thing going on. We need him to we need to petition Jason to update his Facebook profile, or at the very least move that same photo over to his calf avatar, so we can see it all the time. Anyway, so there we go. I don't think I have anything else. Now I want to go short tonight. I don't want to go long. I got so many things I got to get done. I got way too much work to do on the next 24 hours here. He wants them always alphabetical. What Caesar says, why would he want them always alphabetical? Don't most of you want to see? I mean, when you go to your dashboard, remember right now only premium members can follow, and anybody. When you're over here in this, your watched, your followed galleries, your artwork is ordered by, by new. I mean, I would think you'd want the list to default to new, right? I mean, I don't know. That just kind of makes sense to me, but it doesn't have to make sense to everybody. Now, so, hey, look at that. Success. Jason, we did it, man. See? Look at that. Does anybody else have something? I mean, give me another challenge on the site other than the what if search, and maybe we can fix it all by ourselves this evening without Maureen's help, because yes, and we do understand that, Mikhail. That is something that we are addressing. We are working on more, and we talked about this probably like 6 months ago when we were going to be introducing different levels of searching, where you can search on just on CAF gallery. I mean, CAF's too big, right? You need to be able to search on Larry if you want to find Larry's stuff. Why go to the premium member list or your watch list? Or I get it. We want to have a finer way. I mean, of finding what we want on the site. So I'm totally with you. And what is that? Turn off autocorrect when spelling names. Yeah, I had autocorrect change CEO to SEO today while I was typing an important email, and that was definitely an accident. I didn't do that on purpose. For those of you that caught it, thank you, Mikhail. I feel like Jason and Mikhail might be talking about this one. This is something that trust me, guys. I know this searching user gallery names is something people have wanted all the time. I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, how come when I do the site search, if I put in my name, I don't come up? And I tell them because it's not searching on the owner name, it's searching on all the artwork on the site. So it is what it is. We will, it's something that we have in the works. That's all I can say. So let me go ahead and hide this screen. Dan Hogan wants to know, will it ever be possible to put a piece in 2 different galleries? Example, a gallery under an artist name and a gallery by type of art. Well, the funny thing is the reason we don't do that, Dan, is because, technically we already do that, right? Without you needing to do anything. And it's, I know that's a little, it doesn't sound quite right, but, I'll just go back to, because your example is one that, I think we have a clear way of looking at it, because basically we pre-can all these things, right? So a piece of art can be in your your interior pages. And it can also be, underneath a search by name. So we give other, different ways for it to happen. So I know what you're wanting, the ability to because trust me, it's been asked numerous times. I want to be able to have one piece of art in 5 different rooms that I create, but I only want to add it one time because I feel like it deserves to be in 5 different places, because you have, say you break down X-Men by character and you have, the whole team is on there, and you want to be able to show it in every room that has Phoenix, Wolverine, Cyclops, Professor X, and Colossus, because it deserves to be in all of those. And the only reason, there's programmatic reasons why we don't allow you to kind of virtually share it in as many places as you want. But so I don't know. I don't foresee that necessarily happening. Although I know people want it. It just, I think it. I don't know. I understand why you want it, but to me, when I'm browsing your CAF, if it would mean I have to change. Should I be incrementing the numbers because you virtually shared it in other rooms, and so. Even if a room only really has 9 pieces in it, if you virtually share one in it, is the count 10 at that point? It just gets kind of odd in a programming way, that way CAF can have 5 million pieces of art. I'm glad you said that, Kasra. It's but in a sense, I just think it would just make it. I just think we give you other ways to get to the same piece of art in multiple ways. So rather than giving you the ability to share the same piece of art in multiple rooms, the one thing I could see us doing one day, which I still don't think we would even take the time to do it anyway, is sharing a piece of art from your CAF gallery into a sketchbook. Gosh, I didn't even create a sketchbook for this month. I've been so busy and forgot about it. Nobody's even mentioned it to me. See, James did that one thing for a year, and we had sketchbooks all the time. And now March, we haven't even had one. We're almost done with day 7, and no one's asked me about it. So always leave them wanting more. Right. Well, that's Michael Patrick Sullivan says, making rooms by artists. And that was the thing, like you said, just so originally when CAF was started, we didn't have this filter box that does all of that for you. So people did come to CAF and created gallery rooms by name. Maybe 5% of the people did that. But then once we did that, did that one, did this, you didn't need to do that. And some people didn't revert back and reorganize their CAF galleries because they like to keep them the way they were. But anyway, so that's where things are. And I hope everybody's at least playing around with the search this gallery function. I'm so, I actually got no email feedback about when Maureen put that programming on the site 2 weeks ago, but I hope people are using it, because it was outside of sharing things virtually in the sketchbook, I think that was probably one of the number one examples that are out there. Let's see, Dan says, I guess an example might be a user who solicited a commission which later became a cover, and he might like it to be in 2 galleries. Yeah, I get it. And to me, it's like, say that piece was an X-Men piece, and it was in your, X-Men gallery room. When you came down here, it would also be flagged. It wouldn't be. So get where you're getting. There's no good way to. I just don't see us doing it. It's too complicated having a piece all in multiple places. I understand the desire for it though, Dan. I definitely do. And that was really why, the stuff that we did in the yellow box down here to kind of allow filtering and stuff was a way to give users more than one way to find your art, right? And do it and assist you in doing that. So if they only wanted to see the covers in your CAF gallery, they can just click on that and they see just the covers. So it's that is the path. That is the path that we've put ourselves on. But never say never. If there's let's see. Rich Cirillo says, I know I'm in the minority. What is he in the minority of? But I hate it when people copy an image from a gallery and post it on another site without asking or giving a heads up and make no reference where they got the image from. That's not a whole lot you can do about that. There's really nothing you can do about that. I think that's a pet peeve of everybody if their stuff is getting copied and moved around. Let's see here. You can search galleries by medium. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, all right, moving right along. But I'm always open to suggestions, everybody. It doesn't mean I'll follow up on them, but I do like to hear thoughts and things on how to improve CAF. But as we mentioned, our focus is very much on the app right now. I'm supposedly going to get a new build by the end of the day tomorrow that finally will allow me to look at the front end. We'll have this new art page, that I'll be able to go through on the app and start looking at, how we're going to be managing that. And I've got some interesting ideas. I've got a meeting with Kazra this weekend and Maureen, and hopefully we'll be able to look at the app a little bit. And I've got some thoughts on how to streamline things in the app, since that was the app is going to be our streamlined version of CAF, and I've got a few ideas on how to do that I think everybody will enjoy. Jason wants me to make end page a type of art. I guess end page is kind of a type of art, right? End page, it's possible. I think we'd have to put that up to debate. Do we have like a CAF board of decision makers that can take a suggestion every quarter or a set of suggestions every quarter and decide whether or not it's a new thing to add? I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, sorry. It's fun. Hey, we haven't had one of these in a long time. I typically don't. I haven't had time to talk about CAF with everybody, but in this way. But sure, throw some ideas at me all the time. I see people are talking about we have a suggestion show. That's a good idea. Marcus wants monkey splashes as an art type. That is a I don't think that one won't even make it to the list. Dave Kopecki. Hey, Dave, Dave's somebody who asked for the search by gallery. I hope Dave's used that. I'm sure he has, because he was somebody who asked. He was the guy that asked me, that finally pushed me to say, Maureen, we're going to do this. And it was just, if I finally got it for the, I was like, I don't want to get this question ever again. I'm making it happen. So there you have it, Dave. Everybody give Dave a pat on the back for making Search This Gallery a reality, because it was that email. So, all right, now we can move along just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and figure out what I got in this package here, because I was emailing stuff with Ken from 4C, and we did his site work, and so I thought he was going to be just like sending me a payment or something like that, because he asked me for my address, and so I was thinking I was going to get a check in the mail. I did, and I got a box in the mail, and I've already pre-opened it because I'm tired of like wrestling with boxes when I'm trying to do things here. So okay, right on the top there is a check, so that's something right there. But then what on earth is what did he put in here? Let's see. It says, well, I don't think that was meant for me. Let's see. This is a Bill Morrison prelim. I mean, it's quite interesting. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic. Look at that. It's kind of a svelte Thor Homer Simpson. He should have like a Duff beer in one hand, but I don't know. I like it. Anybody, is this from something that everybody recognizes? Because I don't, but maybe those of you in the audience do. A cease and desist letter. I always do prefer boxes of cash, but those don't come across my desk too often. Let's see. Well, thank you, Ken. I appreciate this. I've got to get a piece of art in the mail for Ken. Remember we showed off that 4C artwork when Jeff was on the show, and they did pick it up. So I've got to put that in the mail for Ken now. Let's see, what do we got here? I saw that. Sick. Is it yours? Yes, it is mine, Jeffrey. It's sick. It's very sick. Rob says, Bill, any chance for another members only chat or sale? It's been a few years. Honestly, I think we haven't really talked. Remember we did the sale with Albert for the Bruce Timm art drop. I haven't really talked with anybody about doing like a members only art drop for a while, but that's a good idea. I think we should. We still, because most members of the channel who became members to see that art drop have stayed members, and I sincerely appreciate that. I mean, it's a little bit of revenue that comes into the channel that certainly encourages us to continue to do more things. So we really should do more with that feature. Even if we did a members only stream that was maybe potentially an interview with somebody, or one of these throw ideas at me, and we'll see where things lead. But I'm with you on that one. It's something that I would like to do more of. I think it would encourage a few more people to support the channel in that way. And if we can have another art drop where it's exclusive to members, that was fun. For those of you who weren't around back, gosh, it was over 2 years ago. What we did was we had a members only art drop with Albert, and he brought about 30 pieces of Bruce Timm art. And so as a members only art drop, what we did was anybody could watch the stream while it was happening, but only members could actually interact in the chat. And so you had to be a member. What's a member? It's like it's like $5 a month. You can be a member of the channel. It's something that's built into YouTube, and I think it's 5. We have like 2 tiers, 5 and 15 or something like that. Most people are at 5, but we don't give out members only jackets though, Marcus. But yeah, that's what we did, and it was it was interesting. It did help. We got several people went and became members of the channel and have been members ever since. And you see the little Thor hammer next to their name when they're chatting in the chat. So that's if for those of you who didn't know what those were, that's what they are. They were kind of color coded as well for how long you had been a member. So a member of CAF doesn't count, Jeffrey. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, I've got my Mannix on right there. Thank you, Mr. Flanders. So there you have that. Let me cross mail off of there. Thank you, Ken, for that, and thank Bill for that too. I love Bill's stuff, and I actually, when we haven't seen it yet, I wasn't sure how this is ever going to make it. I don't know. Maybe it's been posted to CAF, and I haven't I've missed it, but I did gift a piece of Mannix art in the last few weeks to somebody. I'll have to keep an eye out and see if it made its way to CAF. But let's see here. Schedule. I want to bring up the schedule real quick. I have a couple new additions for you. Nothing too earth-shattering, but some interesting stuff. Many of you probably already know that Near Levy is doing a Zoop crowdfunded project, and I got contacted by Tatiana to see about doing an interview, and of course I got the wrong date on there because I was in a rush to do this. It's not the 5th. That's already passed. It's happening on Saturday. I'm going to do it at noon. So 2 hours before the John McCrae interview and sale, we're going to have Near on with Tatiana. We're going to talk about his new project, Age of Canaan, and we'll also do a small interview. I don't want it to run too long, so I'm planning on the show only being about an hour. But we'll definitely learn a little bit about Near. He's been doing those great mystery sketches for everybody for the last I think 3 CA lives, and so I've never met him. I've been wanting to talk to him for a while, so this will be fun. So that'll be noon. It's not 3:05, it's 3:09. That's my second typo of the day. So yeah, on Saturday at noon with Near. Then at 2 o'clock I'll have John McCrae. We got an interview and an art sale. I've got a Hakes preview the following Monday. Comic Connect with Micah and maybe Vincent on Tuesday. A Dexter Vines art sale on the following Saturday. Larry's hosting a collector conversation on the 18th. I had an interview lined up for the 19th, and they had to cancel for the moment. So I've got an open date for anybody who's interested in doing a collector interview. Email me, bill@comicartfans.com, and we might be able to work that out. I've got Brian Hitch on the 23rd. I've got Josh Middleton on the 26th. I've got Tim Seeley for an art sale on the 30th. We got another Dinesh Zatari, and Andrew G will be joining me. And see, I've got I got typos galore tonight. 4/2 is that one. That's a Monday, but no, that's a Tuesday. And then Jared Simmons is actually on the 9th. Yeah, see, I knew I should have stayed in bed today. And this is 3 typos today. But Jared Simmons, collector Jared Simmons, many of you probably are aware of his CAF gallery. He's got a lot of great art, and we were emailing about some other stuff, and I asked him if he'd be interested in chatting on the show, and he agreed. So that'll be on the 9th. And then we have Michael Oming for an art sale in April. So there you have it. Lots of fun stuff going on. And I was missing the chat while I was doing that. 319, bring on Richard Friend. I've asked Richard to come on. He knows he has an open invitation whenever he's free. I would love to I'd love to have Richard on. He knows that. So whenever he's got an opening in his schedule, he is welcome to join me. Anytime, as long as I have an opening, like on the 19th of March. So there you go. What else we got going on here? I've got, and see, everybody, I know Richard would be great. I've talked with Richard numerous times that we always see each other at San Diego. I haven't been there in a while, but yeah, no, I mean, it would be a good time to have him on if we can work it out one day. Yes, Richard's taken a break from YouTube because, as everybody knows, Richard, he's had his YouTube channel out there for quite a while. He has a much larger subscriber base than we do, and so he's been doing this a long time. If anybody deserves a break after all the work that he's put into his channel, I don't think anybody would begrudge him that time off. And Kazra says #1 Marvel fan on 319. There you go. See, Kazra's trying to guilt. He's throwing it out there for everybody, throwing out some ideas. I've already interviewed Kazra on before. We don't want to. Kazra wants less screen time at the moment. He's busy. We've got stuff that we're working on. But anyway, so I do have a photograph. I did get another. What did I get? I got another best of photograph, and this time from Bob McCann. So he's put his 2023 trophy right next to his 2022 trophy. So thank you, Bob, for doing that. I'm sure this is probably in his panic room, but we don't really get to see a lot here. But nice artwork behind him. DC centric, as we know. Bob has a penchant for the other publisher. No, sorry, I'm trying to read the State of the CAF address. Everybody wants the State of the CAF address. Honestly, I'll be happy to give one later. I think later in the year. Once we have a few things out of the way, I think that would be the time for something of that sort. Maybe midsummer or something. We'll see. DC rules. But so the thing is, I had solicited getting the photographs when people got their best ofs. I wanted people to send them in and just see what I'm sorry, I'm reading the text here. That's not. Well, that's terrible. It's tragic. And I won't say anything. But I had emailed everybody asking who got best of trophies to send in photographs. We showed a bunch last week. I showed the one with Bob, and Seamus, of course, got a best of trophy. And rather than just send me a photograph, he decided to do a calf cribs video. And I literally got it 30 minutes before the show. That's why there's no mention of it in the mailing today. But we have one, and that's that's what I'm going to show you right now. It's fun. I mean, it was unexpected to get it, because everybody else just sent along some photographs. But yeah, we get a calf cribs video and a best of trophy sighting all at the same time. And it's from Seamus. As everybody knows, Seamus is if you check out his calf gallery, and I'm sure you have, he has a lot of painted pieces. He really goes after commissions and covers and pinups. So you name it, he goes for the stuff with a lot of eye appeal, and that I think that's cool. And you're going to get to see a lot of pieces with a lot of eye appeal in this calf cribs video. So here, let me go ahead and if I can figure out where it went to. There it is. All right, here we go.
Welcome to my mini calf cribs. Start out here with this Mark McHaley watercolor print was used to raise money for Peter Mayhew's double knee replacement. Got the Simeon Bianchi Gallery Exhibition Conan piece. We have the Chris Stevens Wall Power Scream and Venpool, but just terrible shine on that one, sorry. There's the Nick Runch 2001 poster art. Okay, we have the Craig Deeks Into the Spider-Verse commission that got a little attention in the 2022 Best Of. This is this is some production art. It's photocopies of Silvestri's pencils for New X-Men, I believe 152, before the physical copies were mailed off to Bat to ink. Les Edwards fantasy piece. This right here is maybe the first piece that I got. It's Jim Murray, Mirror Enforcer, Magic the Gathering card art. It's one of my all-time favorites. X-Men, is it 107? Lionel Yu, Mark Morales, Robert McGuire painting for a novel cover. Brings us over here to rare piece of my collection, Tex Black Panther page. Fortunate enough to get highlighted on CAF at one point. Rudy Au, Galactus Silver Surfer. About that so I could see his work in person so that I could get this big crazy Ice Pirates commission from him. This is a Victor Minguez Magic the Gathering card painting. And down here we have my rowing machine. And here's where I keep the trophy while I row. I take a look at it. This is a frame that I built to swap out sleeved art. And it's got the Evan Cagle scratch board in it right now. And there's the winner. Fleet Massifera, Darth Vader, Black, White, Red, #1. And is it worthy? Yes, Massifera is worthy. Thanks for stopping by.
And thank you very much, Seamus. So for those of you who weren't aware, yeah, there's a lot of good artwork in that room, isn't there? I was pleasantly surprised to get that. And as you know, we do like to get the Calf Cribs videos. We love to get weekly flips. So if any of you are ever interested in putting together your own, email me, bill@comicartfans.com, and we will put it up here and play it for everybody. And, you don't have to be in the mirror so people can see. You just film it. We've had people, have somebody else in the room filming them while they do their own gallery walkthrough of their artwork. So yeah. That is how it's done. And for those of you who didn't know, Seamus is Black Viper of Dorn in the chat. So I'm sure many of you already knew that. But for those of you who didn't, there you have it. Reef the sea forever. Wants to see my room. We're remodeling right now. So I've got a little bit of work to do before I just decide to do another showing, but I did do a Calf Cribs video back when I lived in Ohio. So if you go on the YouTube channel, you can find it, and it wasn't majorly impressive, but I showed off everything I had on the walls back then. It's changed a little bit. Yes, next time, absolutely. But you can look up that other video that's out there. Mr. Snork's in the green room, but I did forget to do one other thing. I kind of skipped over stuff while I was checking off my list here on my to-dos here, but one thing that happened last week that many of you saw, if you were watching Nick Berrucci's show last weekend, was there was this art get-together in Chicago that was hosted by none other than Kazra Gimbari and the man in the chat, the man from CAF. And it was at a restaurant called Club Lago, owned by a couple of art collectors. And I believe over 20 art collectors showed up for that. I don't even want to hazard a guess at the exact number, but I think that was right. I know Joseph Melchior was there, Chris Kilacki, Josh Flanders, who else was there? Adam Law, Jeff Moy, Tom McDonald, and spouses galore, some friends of Kazra. I know I'm forgetting many names. Harmon was there, I think, a few other people. But at any rate, it was definitely a good time had by all, and it's something that I saw was being talked about at the beginning of the show in the chat, and they're talking about maybe doing it twice a year, and that's good. We need more of those. Yeah, Josh has the Chicago chant going on in the chat right now. Lee, okay, there we go. Thank you, Stephen Davich. Kin Wong was also there. Lee Harmon, yes. Exactly, and I know that there were some artists also who were thinking about being able to make it, but weren't able to make it. Chicago, of course, probably has a lot more collectors and artists in the area, so they're going to be kind of working out having another meetup, sometime maybe in the fall. I don't know, but at any rate, we've got a video, and it's actually just. I don't think we have actually any video clips within it. It's all just photographs and things that I kind of stitched together from the event. But it looks like a good time was had by all. Lots of comic art was looked at, and I think some good Italian food was eaten. So let's take a look at it. And yeah, that last thing was, as you know, there's a Neil Gaiman auction going that's going to be starting soon, and they were doing a preview in Chicago at Heritage's gallery location there. I've never been, and that was Chris Kalaki and Josh Flanders checking it out, and Jill Thompson did I think she kind of introduced the evening's festivities. She had done a drawing that was given as a raffle of some kind, and I think Kin Wong actually won that too. So that's great. A CAF member picked up a piece of art from Jill Thompson at that event. So that was pretty awesome. And I saw that Josh said that you should try to get Jill Thompson to go next time. That would be good. Kin won it. Yeah. Is it on CAF yet, Josh? Because I haven't been. I think I might have missed that. And then, hey, I see Mr. Snorik had a comment in there while I was playing. So I'm just going to bring Chris in right now. Chris, you got a Fantastic Four shirt on there, my friend.
I do. You know what? Let me put my headphones on.
Uh-oh. It looks like I brought you in too early.
I didn't know when the video was going to end.
Wise. Is that like the 8-bit Fantastic Four cover?
It is, yeah. This is a very old shirt.
Those were the days.
Yep.
So yeah, no, you're right. That wouldn't have been too long of a drive for you. I mean, Jeff Moy went down there.
No, it's easy too. It's basically a straight shot.
Well, barring you starting a Wisconsin-based, group for meetups, the Chicago one would be a perfect one for you to go to.
Yeah, I would love to come, and I love Chicago, so it's a good time.
Awesome. So how you been? It's only been
a week. Yeah.
You were away last week.
I was. So we had a work get together for my wife, and then Monday she had knee surgery. So it's been a hectic couple weeks. Yeah.
Well, that's understandable. That's tough. I got a nice letter from your wife that after OX. I wanted, I've always been meaning to say, make sure she knows that I appreciate getting that and the kind words she said about OAX. I mean, that's awesome. Sounds like she really had a good time.
She did. She had a great time, and she's a big believer in thank you cards. So
Well, that was nice. And I actually got another CAF member had sent a balloon and some flowers while we were at OAX. We got them
That's
after,
cool.
and it was awesome. I came home to it, and it was wishing you well, and your first OAX, and I was so there's just it was just really nice to get. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people care to make sure that that they appreciate the things you're doing. So yeah, that was pretty
Absolutely.
awesome. But yeah, so I figure we can dive into some stuff here. I mean, do you have any things that you want me to do on CAF? I mean, since I got you here on the spot and we were talking about that earlier.
I've put in my pitch for exclusionary words a few times, so I don't keep getting Swamp Thing art. That's a big one for me. In my keywords, that would be cool. God, other than that, I mean, I'm excited to see what you do with the mobile. That's going to be awesome because so this week I was sitting in the hospital with Becky, like after she got out of surgery, and I'm doing my picks and I'm doing them on my phone, and I almost sent you an email to say sorry for the formatting. I'm doing this on my phone.
So that's why your email sucked so bad. Now I know.
Yep.
Because you want to know why. I love your emails when you send me your picks because you have like the title typed out and the link, right?
Yep.
And that's perfect. I literally copy paste it and put it into the report. When it comes over from your phone, everything was a preview and nothing was a link. So I had to go and click on every one of them, copy the URL, copy the title. I was like, what did you do this week? Well, now I know.
Yeah, blame Apple.
Doggone it. Well, now, but that makes sense because I always wondered why some of my emails had those funky little previews in them. So now we know. Marcus is
beyond that, I think I've mentioned the I think it would be cool to highlight pieces that we've featured on the update. I think that would be a fun thing to be able to do. Kind of like when it's been featured on the front page. Because that's always like the first time that happened to me, that was I got a jolt out of that. So when Colin picks something like that, I think it's really cool too. But I mean, as far as, man, I'd have to give it some thought. Those are the two that leap to mind though.
I get it on the exclude words for sure. Because there might be more of it has to be an exclude. There's no other way to do it. Just trying to think it through. Yeah.
I was just thinking like there's got to be a ton of them, right? Because like what if Kirby was one of your search words and you kept getting JJ Kirby, or not that you would because the volume of work isn't there, but
No, it's the same thing. I get it. I totally get it. But the Swamp Thing one is and the thing is a clear one that's going to cause you're just going to get a lot of artwork because there's a fair amount of Swamp Thing art that gets posted.
A lot of Swamp Thing art. Yeah,
you're probably seeing more Swamp Thing than Thing artwork.
Way more. Yeah. Okay. Which, Swamp Thing's cool. It's just not what I'm into.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you. No, I get it. I totally get it. And it's just a little harder to implement because I know you really want that in your want list alert, but it makes a lot of sense. And the only place we use exclude keywords, and I don't know why it was a programmatic decision, was in searching market data, auction market data. We put in exclude words there, and I can't remember why. I think because there was just so many results, and so often you would type the word thing and you were getting the wrong stuff. So we felt an exclusion there was necessary. But yeah, I have a feeling if I talk to Maureen about it, we're feeling in it. Now that we're working on the app, we're feeling a little bit more frisky in terms of trying different things. Yeah. And the app developer we're working with is also a SQL programmer. So, he's sent ideas back to Maureen on how to improve some of the stored procedures and stuff that we've put together. So,
cool.
She's not really had a person kind of at her level.
Things off of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a beneficial long-term relationship with this gentleman, I think. So
very cool.
Jason in the chat. Jason's feeling frisky tonight. Did you see him earlier when he was talking about how the names are moving? I mean, it was like he was on mushrooms or something, but we finally figured out what he was talking about.
He's microdosing.
He is. All right. So why don't we take a look at the picks for this week? See, I think we're going to get done. We might get done before 2.5 hours are up, but that's
Very
okay.
early. Hey,
Yeah, I'll tell you,
take it.
because I do. I think I have a lot of stuff I have to do, and it'd be nice to get some more work done tonight before I go into tomorrow.
Yay,
But
work.
yeah. So let's see. Let me get my screen shared here for Heritage. And Heritage had, I don't know, they had some interesting stuff on there. I'll tell you, I don't know. Did anybody, I'm assuming, we can't raise hands here, but it'd be cool. I mean, how many people won stuff on Comic Link last night? There was a lot of nice art in there.
Chuck Arnold won a big one.
Okay.
He got he got that All-Star Superman page. He was jacked. Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a nice one. I'm happy for him. There was what was it? There was a couple Willingham pieces in there, and I really wanted one of them, but I knew in my heart I couldn't go for it right now because it was the cover to issue 5, with the big wave and Fathom on it, and so it wasn't like it was a lot, but I mean it was covered with ink, and it's Willingham and Rankin, and I thought it would have been awesome, and in my head I literally said, if I bid 5,000 on it, I should get it. But I knew that was overpaying for it. Somebody even asked me before the show, what did I think it was worth? And I said, or before the auction, told them it's 3,500 is probably what it's worth. But I was going to bid 5, but I'm backing out because I know I don't have 5 right now. And it went for 4,500. So clearly there were a few other people interested in it. I might have bid 5 and still lost it. But
I think that's Willingham's a niche market in my mind. But the guys who are into it are way into it.
Yeah, I mean, like 6 to 8 years ago, they weren't. Well, the whole market's changed since then. I can't even compare it to where things were at. I mean, back then I could have bought a page from issues 1 through 4 for $250 to $350, right? Remember, I lost that auction when somebody bid $1,200 on a page,
right?
From like issue 5 or something. Everything's different, but that's why I felt 5 was the magic number. If I feel it's worth 3,500. I'm going to have to bid 5 if I want to get it, because there's probably somebody else crazy enough to bid 48 or 49. So anyway, it was interesting.
Alas.
Yeah. But hopefully it ends up on CAF, and so then I know who has it. So all right, let me dive into my Heritage stuff here. Where are we? Okay, here we go. All right. So this was actually it's a Gene Colan, Klaus Janson Batman page from issue 348. It's page 3. There was actually page 4 was also in this week's auction, and I wasn't familiar with the woman, but it's some vampire. Yep. I just like it. I think it's a beautiful piece of art. The next page might even be better than this one, but I kept going back between them, and I decided I like the intro page to this 2-page set that they have up there. But it's just really well done. It's it's kind of cinematic in the way it's handled. Klaus Janson's inks kind of like ground Colan's kind of like craziness. Yeah. And I like it. I think he's kind of pulled it together where everything makes a little bit more sense. And the other piece, I mean, I might as well show it because it really, like I said, I think it might be better than this one.
It's kind of a cult favorite story too, for sure.
Is it really? Yes, because obviously I'm not familiar with it at all. But I thought I think both pages together are really, probably look wonderful together. I mean, it's just the way these first 3 panels are done, and she leaves, and then he's got a lot of things on his mind after that happened. But I think these are great. And
Robin's eyes are like haunting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So this is a nice pair of auctions that are up there from them by Colan and Janson. And then I picked this one because Nier's going to be on the show with me. But I was actually doing some background, reading on Nier's career, and I read about this bio ripple that was in heavy metal, and it was up on his website. So I was looking at the images there, and then go figure, I'm going to do the Heritage picks, and there's a bio ripple page. I mean, of all things, it's like something I'd never heard of. So I was like, all right, might as well show it off because I'm going to be talking with Nier on Saturday at noon. So,
if you have a chance, Matt Moore's got a cover from this in his calf. It's really nice. It's like it's almost like a magic eye puzzle or like an optical illusion. It's I saw it in person and I was like, how do I even look at this thing? It kind of defies looking at. It's really bizarre.
Huh. well, then I'm gonna check it out, because that's what I think. I mean, he he definitely has that ability to draw things that fool your eye. I mean, when you look at this, there's a few things going on here. You've got two bodies, their heads are merging together in some weird way. I think Near is on something when he's working on this stuff. It's just crazy. But I like this because a lot of the pieces I've seen from Near weren't colored, right? And everything from this Bio Ripple, I think at least was colored. I think, so his sense of color is beautiful. I'd love to see. I mean, can you imagine if he did mystery sketches with color? I think everybody might go to $300 for something like that, because I can't even imagine what those would look like. This is amazing. So yeah, I'm really happy that I'm going to get to talk with him on Saturday. That should be fun. Hope people can tune into that. Let's see. Next up, this was just like kind of a classic-y Marvel page, but I thought it was a good one. It's Sal Buscema, Jack Abel, but you get Cap and Daredevil on the same page.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good. I mean,
that's
it's
a great
just,
panel at the bottom,
isn't it? I mean, when I looked at this, because I don't pick Sal's work too often, and the thing is, it's silly because there's so many people who love Sal's work. I mean, there's so much of it out there, but there's like a legion of fans for him, and
we call it a cult.
It's a cult. Yeah,
the cult of Sal.
Why? He could tell a good story, and yeah, this is good. I can see a lot of people being interested in a page that's got Cap and Daredevil on it that Sal drew. So yeah,
I was talking with somebody today, and they said they had never heard the term Copper Age before. And I said, oh, okay, it's like from here to here. And they were like, well, then what's Bronze Age? And I said, Sal Buscema.
That is correct. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, Mikhail's mentioning that Aranga has a good piece, so I assume that's another Near piece. So I'll have to check that out. Then this was a Zurcher, a Malstead Iron Man 12 page. And I think this was something about, what did they say? It was like a flashback to War Machine's kind of history. But I just like this page. I thought, I love the design. It's basically a splash page that covers over these funky panels that structure that they put in there, and then you get a part of the splash on the far right side. I think this thing is awesome, and it's and it's a title page too. So this is just really, really slick. I can't say that we've ever really. I don't think we've featured anything by Zurcher before, but Malstead we have. So at any rate, I think this is a great piece, and I hope it does really well because I like it.
It's cool. I love when I love good technical drawing, and like if somebody can draw like solid armor like this, it's always appealing to me.
Yep, indeed. I think Bob Layton would give us 2 thumbs up for this one.
I think so too.
Then Raphael Albuquerque. This was from Detective Comics 950. Go away there. I thought this was neat.
Oh, this is beautiful. This has got Daryl R written all over it.
It does. Yeah, you got Azrael here, and then you have Batman kind of in the mist, in the smoke, whatever. And I just thought this was really beautiful as a piece. I think it's really well done, and I know there's a lot of Albuquerque fans out there, and Batman fans. So at any rate, this is nice. But you're right. Daryl does collect a lot of Azrael work.
I love the sword. Man, the sword just looks beautiful. So intricate.
Yeah, no, this is I really like this piece too. Mafud. I don't know. Every time I like it's hard for me not to like his work. He's so confident when he draws stuff like this, and you figure he's got to be like listening to music and kind of doing some stream of consciousness stuff when he's drawing, but it works. I mean, at least that's what I feel when I look at Jim's work, and I can't picture him drawing any other way without some loud music in the background and him just going to town. James Henderson. These are upcoming auctions. These are the ones from Heritage's weekly auction. So these would be ones that would be closing next Wednesday. They all started today, just after midnight. So this is Mafud. Mafud was OAX. I mean, I got to see some of his originals that he brought with him. But anyways, I just like this stuff.
he's such a you mentioned confidence, and not only is he a confident illustrator, he's such a almost cocky designer. I mean, the designs that he does are, rule breaking, asymmetrical, wild, like all the stuff that you would say about him as an illustrator, you can say about him as a designer too. And you can't say that about everybody. A lot of people who would I say, like Sienkiewicz, right? Like great illustrator, great designer, but he does basically follow the rules of design for the most part, right? Mahfoud like throws all that out the window.
Right. Yeah, he does. And sometimes, I mean, maybe they aren't, home runs every time, but like this one is. But the thing is, he clearly throws caution to the wind when he's doing these illustrations. He just has to.
Yep.
I mean, so I think this is a great piece. Next piece was a Ron Harris Star Trek Sunday, and I actually have a Ron Harris Star Trek Sunday of my own. So I've had it for many years. It's huge. It's like 18 by 24. This one is not. This one's more like 12 by 18. But I just thought it's got a couple of great, the first and last panel with the Enterprise, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a Trek fan and you don't own a piece of Ron Harris strip art, I mean, I think this is the Sunday for you. Ron, he did a lot of work in comics, but he did I think he did the entire strip for its run. It's from 81.
It's such a faithful adaptation. Wow. I mean,
you got Scotty in there.
he's not leaving anything to the imagination. Like, all the likenesses, the ship is like dead on perfect, the transporter pad, like everything is just perfect representation.
Yeah. No, this might be better than the Sunday I have, but mine's more impressive. It's huge. Let's see here. 3 more to go. Bill Reinhold. This was a Prowler DPS from issue 3. I just always like Bill's style.
Me too.
And this is just, I can say I never read Prowler, but I look at this and it's just so dynamic. I think this is fantastic. So, and I really, as crazy as this last panel is, and I think I like it. I might even like that last panel more than the first one.
Yeah, so, it's really busy, but honestly, the whole thing is busy, which is kind of like sign of the times, right? But it all reads, and like there's so much motion in this.
Yeah. No, Bill's, he's awesome. We had Bill on about a year ago, and I've just always loved his stuff. And I don't have anything I don't think I have anything in my collection from him, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, this is a nice piece. And so if you're a fan of the Prowler, this is DPS for you. Then I saw this Noel Sickles. At first I thought it was Toth. I'm like, what the heck is what did Toth draw? And then but no, it's Noel Sickles. And this thing is gorgeous, man. I mean, it's from what was it from? I think it was a Life magazine illustration. Sure. But God, I mean, it's incredible. And there was like a little bio in there about it that Noel, did a lot of moonlighting for magazines like Life because he was such a good illustrator. He was in the war, so he drew for some war-related, magazines that came out during, the same time. And I think I think it's fantastic. I literally want to own this. I think it'd be fun. I'd like to have this in my collection. Yeah, but awesome. Nice piece, says Ian. Ian, you emailed me last week, and I apologize. I didn't reply to it yet. I will, because Ian had a suggestion for me too. Speaking of getting suggestions, and I didn't reply to it, so I'll make sure I do that tonight. I promise. And last piece. This is Eaglesham piece and John Floyd. But this is just a beautifully rendered page. I kind of kept coming back to it. I was trying to find something that wasn't this page to pick. But I just love the flow, and I feel this is, and it's probably a lot because of John Floyd's inking in here. But I love just they're on the top of this building with the railing and this weird shaped roof with the shingles, whatever. Just the way this thing is laid out, I just think it's beautiful. I think that even the anatomy on the characters is done really well. I mean, I don't know. There was just something about this page. I'm looking at it now, and it's like I can't find a reason not to really enjoy this piece.
I think I've become so accustomed to seeing Eaglesham pencils as originals. It's nice to see one that's inked, and it adds a lot of depth, and it adds a lot of gravity to the piece. That those pencil ones, they're kind of monotone by nature, and you definitely get to see like Dale is such a great draftsman, and that comes across perfectly in those pieces. But it is nice to see something with ink on it from him.
Yeah, definitely. No, I like this. So there you have it. There's my my heritage picks for the week.
Nice.
Okay, now we can do the EXP. We can find out what Nick Perucci's bringing for everybody tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on the EXP channel, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and wherever else he's streaming. I think he's streaming on Instagram these days, which I can tell you is just too much work right now. But they don't make it easy, so I'm not doing it. But one day, if it ever gets easy, I'll do it. But yeah, they have this weird key system. Every time you create a show, you have to get a new key off of Instagram. I'm like, that's too much work. I just want to be able to say I want to stream there, but it's like a permissions thing for every broadcast you do, so that's not going to happen. So let's take a look at what Nick is bringing tomorrow on the EXP.
Everybody, real quick, this Friday, March 8th. I'm only kidding, guys. Amy bet me that I couldn't get this done in 2 minutes, so I was trying to pick it up, do something new, give people a reason to smile, because you're looking at my ugly mug. That might make you sad. So, this Friday, March 8th, at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on the Original Art Experience, we have some really cool art. So, we're going to have a few covers. So, we've got 3 Bagley covers. We have Night Thrasher #1. Ultimate Comics, Ultimate Moon Knight, both by Bagley. Avengers Assemble by Bagley with the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is really, really cool. You've got everybody from the Hulk to Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Captain America, Iron Man. You even have Bug from the Micronauts. How did that happen? Then we have a little bit of DC. We've got Fernando Pasarin, and I think this is the first cover I've ever had by Fernando Pasarin. Then we have this gorgeous Sean Phillips, Wildcats. I don't think I've ever had Sean Phillips art. Yikes, what am I doing putting this on the air? All right, in addition to that, this really cool quiet page of JSA. This is by Dale Eaglesham and Roy Jose. Then some Dynamite covers. We will have Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, #6 by Roberto Castro. Then I will have Space Ghost #1 by Jay Lee. I will have James Bond Origins by Dan Panosian. Then we're going to go back to the Bagley. We've got Superior Spider-Man #1, page 10. #2, page 1. This page is the money page because it says, it's #3, page 1, and it says, if you go here, USUCK, Aaro. Wow, Aaro spelled backwards is still Aaro. Gotta like that. Then a little bit more Superior Spider-Man. Now, this one's really cool. You got Superior Spider-Man, you have Dr. Octopus, and in an underwater octopus boat. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man 650, Neil Edwards, Scott Hanna. This is the first appearance of the new Spider Killer. Then, I can't believe I'm doing this, I have Ninjak art from Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti. God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I've been asked so often for Quesada and Palmiotti art. Oh, God, what issue is this from, too? Oh, my God. Issue 1, page 22? What? Okay, maybe I'll just do issue 3, page 20. But issue 1? Oh, my God. All right, then I've got this cool Alan Moore book. I can't remember the book. I've got to look it up. It's from one of his ABC lines, but check out the duck. I mean, oh God, that is so awesome. It's been so long since I've seen this. I got to look this up. Then we'll have some commission cover art. Check it out. A little Harley Quinn. Little Bob Kane commission homage, little Neil Adams homage, and I'm going to show one more thing on Friday. I just picked up this complete 8-page crisis story with Superman and Lex Luthor's from multiple dimensions. This is not for sale, but I thought the fans would appreciate this. This is Blue Line Pencils, ink of Tom Grummett, inks by Scott Hanna, and I just thought it'd be cool to show. Plus, I'll show some of my OAX pickups. So, this Friday, March 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and Amy has told me, just to let you know, that I have to be done by 8:15 because every time she leaves early, I screw stuff up. So we're going to try and get it done by 8:15. Everybody, please hit that thumbs up. Share. Sharing is caring. Love you all. Can't wait to see you Friday.
There you have it.
Eagles fan.
Hey, before we get started with our picks, I've actually had a couple of emails and texts. There was a message that Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball, has passed. I guess it's just making. I guess it happened on the 1st, but it's getting out on the news today. So sorry to hear that. That's Dragon Ball was not something that I've watched or too often. What about you, Chris? Was it something that was
it was a little so I have a brother who's 10 years younger than me, and he loved it, and so it would be on in the house from time to time, so I'm like peripherally aware of Dragon Ball and things like that, but it was a little before or after my time.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 68. Another
Wow.
person
Yeah.
passing way too soon. That's awful. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's just another creator and a creative lost that we're without. So that's terrible. To brighten things up, did you watch the show last night at all, Chris?
No, the amateurs. No,
Yeah.
I was gonna watch it today and then haven't had a chance yet. But Rob and ML, I mean, that's two of my favorite people on CAF. So I'll be watching it after the fact.
Cool. Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna show you a couple memes that Rob made. It'll change the mood I think, a little bit. But here's one of them.
Are you kidding me?
He needed to extend that a little bit more, but
With,
I thought
with real hair.
yes, exactly. Yeah, he is not faking it. It's not dyed either. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then this other one, I actually made this other one, but it's a personal favorite.
that was killer.
Rob laughed. He didn't.
No.
I didn't let him see that beforehand, and he was okay with it.
So good.
Oh man. So
I expected to see Rogue's backside from X-Men in that picture frame for some reason.
Yeah, I was thinking there was a lot of things that crossed my mind. I was like, how can I get Rob on this one? But I felt like I think I did a good job on that one.
Job well done.
Thank you very much. So yeah, now we can do the CAF update. And unfortunately, the eBay crawl for me has failed me. At least, well, I think I've got it fixed. But the eBay crawl that gets me the market data.
Yep.
Whenever eBay they change their page format, my crawl gets messed up, and so I had to go and it had to do a little bit more work this time than before. It took like 2 days of trial and error to make the thing do the right thing. And so when Colin pulled the whole report together, he was without the data for that. So, but we'll talk about the dealers first, just to kind of give you the scoop. It was a busy week, and for some reason, Anthony crushed it. I mean, give Anthony a week off, and then he sells a lot of artwork. He sold $104,000 in art with 83 sales. That is very unlike him. Usually, the 83 sales is about normal, but usually they're average $500 or $600 a piece. I'm not sure what he was selling, but he did pretty well. There was $449,000 in sales. He had 104. Albert had 98. Glenn had 95. Berkey had 45. Felix had 40. Next had 23. Will had almost 20. And even Comic Art House, which we never talk about, actually had 11,000 in sales. So yeah, there was a lot of people were selling last week. I don't know, something in the water. I mean,
Awesome.
Yeah, I think people are gaining a little bit of confidence in their pocketbooks again. But so the top 6 sales that we've got from dealers last week. First up, this is going to be a piece by Jim Lee and Scott Williams. It's from Detective Comics, issue 1062, sold by Albert Moy for $30,000. That's the going rate for a Jim Lee Batman cover. So you can't argue with it anymore.
Consistent.
Then what a first appearance, G.I. Joe #1, page 19, Herb Trimpe, $25,000, panel page art.
Wow.
Can't say that I've seen too many G.I. Joe #1 pages go before, so hey, pretty cool. Then we have a Mike Zeck, Amazing Spider-Man 293 page, again sold by panel page, this time asking price $20,000. Then let's see. This is Anthony. I think he had this on Dueling Dealers once. Avengers 133, page 1. Joe State and Sal Buscema. Asking price on that one was $20. Then Transformers piece by Daniel Warren Johnson, sold by Felix for $15. And last but not least, a Marvel Spotlight 8-page by Mr. Frank Miller. And this one, again, sold by Glenn. Asking price on this one, $15,000. So I really want to know how Anthony had only one piece in the top 6 and sold $104,000.
Jason said New Jersey Art Con.
Oh, how did he get everything recorded so fast? I mean, that's on Sunday.
His minions.
Yeah, well, he is efficient. I will give him that. But that's still surprising, though, that he was actually able to get it all recorded that quickly. But then that probably explains why Panel Page had a good Panel Page. Albert wasn't at Comic Art Con, was he?
No.
Okay, I thought I heard that from somebody. Oh, and all right. Now that I've mentioned Anthony's name, I'm sure, because I did get a text earlier. Did everybody see that? There's a piece of art in the Heritage Auction that has a Anthony sticker on it. Did everybody see that? Do you know what I'm talking about, Chris?
No.
Sticker? Well, a post-it with a price on it.
Okay.
But it's in a Heritage lot. I mean, I'm not sure. Somebody's going to be updating that image, I think, before tomorrow, because somebody's got to point it out to them. But it literally has Anthony's price on it. So I don't know if this piece came from Anthony or how the heck it got to Heritage, and somebody didn't pull the post-it note off of it. I mean, it was white, so it's white on an ink page, So it's like it's not yellow, but still, it's a post-it note that's on there with a price tag on it. And I don't need. I'll just search Cosmic Odyssey and the weekly auctions. So, and last I knew, that piece was in Anthony's personal collection because it was in an interview he did with Mike Mignola about a year ago or a year and a half ago or something. So definitely original tape, maybe CJ. Okay, so that was dealers, and then auction houses. This is obviously, we're going to amend these numbers once we get the eBay data in there. It's at 166,000 for the week right now, only because we have only Heritage is in there. Probably is somewhere around double that, but can't tell you that until I get the eBay imported. So the 3 Heritage picks that make it in there for the top sales. Where are you? Here we go. So we got this Dick Dillon, Jack Abel, JLA 146 cover to start things off. I think everybody was saying this thing went for a little less than they were thinking, $13,200 for that one. Pretty nice. And then we have next up a Defenders 104 cover. Al Milgram pencils on this one. This one went for $9,600. And this last one is from the Planewalker's Handbook, page 103. Tony Di Terralizzi. I'm not familiar with their work, but I'll have to look them up on CAF. But I guess this one went for $5,520. So, yep, don't know, but yeah. So we'll get the eBay stuff updated for those of you who like to track eBay sales. Apologies for that. I don't do crawls too often anymore, so I literally had to kind of relearn the program how to do it. So Yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. So there's all the picks. So now we can go in and talk about our stuff now. Popular artwork that we liked from last week, and you actually have 2 thing pieces in here.
I know.
Did you know that?
I know. I tried to do one, and then the second one came up, and I was like, I have to show that one. I have to.
That's all right. I don't think anybody's going to be mad. But
you've picked multiple X-Men's and multiple Thors.
I have.
Come on.
You're
be fair.
I have. I get it. I get it. Let's see here. Let me get that in there. I was just preparing you. I knew somebody would point it out. We got 100 people. 100 people are watching right now. Has everybody hit the thumbs up? I hope so. I hope everybody's also planning to leave some comments after the show.
Smash that like button.
Come on. Nick Barucci's got it telling people numerous times already that they haven't smashed the like button enough. Thing 1 and thing 2 says Kelly.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I bet you get a lot of Man-Thing art in your search too, don't you?
I do.
Well, we are going to have to work that out for you.
What about Adams, Arthur, Adams, Neil?
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
That's a big
too,
one.
isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you. I'm gonna, again, like I say, Maureen's she's definitely intrigued with doing more advanced programming these days. So yeah, Hydra's screaming, hit the like, folks. So there you go. Thank you, Hydra. All right, so what do we got here? This is in Ron S.'s calf gallery. We've got a Wesley Dodd Sandman DPS. Oh, it's actually too big to look at like this one.
Yeah, I believe he bought the whole book. I picked this because I love a good DPS. But so the thing that really, even as a thumbnail, jumped out at me is the use of shapes in this. Like, this is all like very cool shapes wedged together. Like, even the positive and negative stuff is very like angular in places, the way he spots the blacks. Like, and there's some, there's a little dry brushing on here. Like, this is like an ink lover's delight in my mind. But I love Sandman. I think Riley Rossmo is so dynamic, so fun, such great cartooning. And to see his style on a Golden Age character, I think is like, I don't know, maybe it's the juxtaposition or whatever, but the clash of style versus kind of like tone or timeline. But I just think this book works. I really like this book a lot, and this DPS is fantastic.
Well, I am with you 100%. This one, I had this one kind of set aside as well. So I mean, it was going to get picked no matter what. But I thought it's, like you just said, it's the shapes. I think it's the composition's beautiful, and man, yeah, I really, really like this piece a lot, and it's kind of like stylistically, it's kind of merging a few different approaches, but it all works so well together. He's kind of he's abstracting the smoke, but the rubble in the background's a little bit more loose, and then
sketchy.
And then you have this tight graphic quality to the folds in their clothes, and it's just but it works so well. So no, this is a great piece. Ron did a good thing by picking this one up, and you, like you said, I didn't look, but it does say complete book. So wow, take the time to check out Ron's calf gallery. Next up, we have a Rags Morales Spider-Man versus Menace piece.
So this is a commission. I've talked about Rags on here before. I'm not sure that it's how it's actually meant to be.
No, I think it's supposed to be
displayed. Yeah, because of the signature. But I think it's so cool that it actually still works like this. That's just a testament to a good composition. Like, they tell you when you're doing layouts, when you're doing thumbnails, turn it on its head, turn it on its side. Like, if you still like the balance, if you still like the the symmetry, the asymmetry, whatever, like when you look at it from all those different angles, then it's a great composition. So I think that speaks volumes to why this still looks cool sitting on its side. But I love the circular web in the middle that kind of like makes the fisheye from the buildings like even more pronounced. And his figural work is like tremendous. I mean, unbelievable. He's always been so good with figures. I haven't seen honestly all that much tonal stuff from him, so that was like a cool treat too. I think maybe it's something he does like mostly for commissions, but he's obviously great at it, and the lighting in this is terrific.
Yeah, no, I love the the rich blacks on the characters, and then just these midtones on the buildings, clouds, and you almost don't see that full moon, but it's there, and it's I think this is a very masterful piece, and I like it a lot. Trying to, I want to see the way that the artist intended it.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right, though. It could be pretty much at any angle, I think, and it works.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. You don't see that too often. Wow. Yeah, I can't flip it over, but I can tell you in the app, the image editing tool does all that kind of stuff. You can flip it, you can color correct it. I mean, you can do that on Cat.
Cool.
It's a little bit more cumbersome, but the image editing tool that you're going to get with the app is much more feature rich. You can.
I might go back in and fix a few pieces.
you actually can pull stuff out and color, and like bump the contrast up a little bit. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by what this modern technology stuff. What the heck? But anyways, cool piece here, and this was in Douglas Resnick's Calf Gallery. Very nice. Then we've got a Norm Brayfogle Detective Comics page. This one kind of threw me. I was like, "What's going on in this page?" And but then I figured it out. But this is slick, man. I like Brayfogle's work.
Yeah, I've highlighted Brayfogle maybe too many times, but I have a soft spot for him. This is when I was reading Batman. Brayfogle's like my Batman artist from when I was young. So definite nostalgia involved in this pick, but like I loved the power on this page. I mean, the exertion on Batman's face, he's like straining every muscle, the sound effects from him cracking the wood, all those power lines, radiating out from him, and the shocked look on kind of the onlookers' faces is just like great storytelling, which sometimes you don't get in a splash necessarily. A lot of times a splash is just like a bombastic image of two characters fighting or whatever, and it's not really advancing anything too much. It's just like, okay, here's a punchline, here's a payoff. There's an element to that to this too, but I just think that this is such a cool story moment that's on a splash.
No, it's it is indeed very, very powerful. But I don't know. I like Brayfogle's work too. I mean, it's taken a little bit, but you featured him often enough that now that I've taken a lot more time to look at his work, it's very strong. He's got a great design sense, and this is a great page. And I just want to see GC, 18-year calf member, GC in France. Next up, this is a good one. Matt Wagner, Mr. Josh Flanders. We know he loves Matt's work. He owns a few pieces, and this is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, and if we're talking about great designers, I mean, Matt Wagner is right up there, because the way he lays things out, like his ability to tell a story, like all that stuff is just textbook perfect at all times. I personally have always really enjoyed the Art Deco stuff that he loves to include in these Grundle books. It's so fun to look at, the symmetry, the balance. And then, the way that he's really showing kind of the duality of Hunter Rose here. Yes, he's Hunter Rose, but by the way, he's also Grundle, and the light to shade that he does to show the difference between the two, kind of the alter egos. This is just a gorgeous page, and this is kind of like Matt at the top of his game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't have anything to add to it. I mean, it's everything you just said. Matt's always had a great design sense, and I love his approach to doing the skyline. It's all pretty flat. I'm sure it's probably colored in a way that helped, that gave you a sense of depth. But just seeing, Matt's vision for the layout, it's fantastic, and it's great contrast from the the left side, which is very, very flat, to where he's actually added in the gray tones on the right to give it depth. With the ink is it's a really smart page. I love it.
Yeah, I think the the two-dimensionality or the, the flatness of it, like, makes it actually look cleaner. It's very clean on purpose. And then on top of it, he didn't futz with like much to make it realistic, or whatever you want to say, which actually goes just further makes it clean.
Well, nice pickup, Josh. Then Mr. Ian Saint. I know we saw Ian in the chat. We have a piece here from Annihilation, Andrea DeVito. Or is it Andre?
I think it's Andrea.
Andrea, thank you.
Yep.
See, hey, I got it wrong twice.
No, it's okay. I'm not 100% positive I'm right. I'm never 100% positive that I'm right. But I love this storyline, and Andrea DeVito did like a really tremendous run on the Thing. So he's a well-loved Thing artist by me. I love how busy this is. I love these like crazy insects. Like the fact that it's kind of like it's a Star War wink was so cool to me as far as the storyline is concerned. It was really like taking kind of Cosmic Marvel and pushing it in, like merging it into a war book. And like that's what this makes me think of. This, this rampaging horde of insects that's going to annihilate the galaxy, and these Kree soldiers that are kind of standing in the line, and then Ronan comes in at the bottom to give a little superpower. But I just think it's so like tonally, this is such a cool piece, and Andrea DeVito is such a clean, like meticulous draftsman. Perfect to draw that like big horde scene at the top of those insects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a lot of midtones. There's a little bit of cross hatching here or there, but yeah, just all very confident line work in this one.
Yeah, very comic booky.
Mm-hmm. Starship Troopers is what I think when I see all these bugs flying over.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is fantastic. Great ink, says CJ. Yes, I completely agree. So yeah, Ian, nice pickup. I kind of came back to this one a couple times as well, even after I knew that Chris had picked it, because I wanted to pick it. I just love the composition on it. So, it works well. Honestly, when on a set of thumbnails, it stands out. And it's in its design sense. I mean, it's just really well done. So, congrats, Ian. I can see. I know you're very happy to have this one in your collection. Let's see here. Next, Fantastic Four, Silvestri and Rubenstein. Yep, we have the Thing featured in this one.
That's I am hard pressed to think of another time I saw a Thing piece illustrated by Silvestri, and I was like, I love Silvestri so much. I love the Thing so much. This page is not like a bomb. This is not a killer page. This is not a banger of a page. But the fact is, like, I love both things so much, no pun intended. I love the character and I love the illustrator. Rubenstein does a bang up job on this. But the thing that stood out to me the most, I keep saying thing and I don't mean to, is the fact that look at how much Silvestri's Thing looks like Barry Windsor Smith's Thing. Like, that's what blows me away about this. The little head that's perched on the huge body, which was kind of a Burn thing too, obviously, like no neck, his head is just kind of sitting on his torso. But it's almost like Silvestri was like, well, I got to draw the Thing. Like, who do I really like? Whose rendition do I really like? And he was like, aha, Barry Windsor Smith. And he just like went and did that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I didn't think about that when I first saw the page, but I can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
Do you have any Silvestri Thing art?
I don't have any Silvestri art, period, which is a horrible lament of mine. There's been many times that I've nearly pulled the trigger, and it was just about, I want to say, boy, what do you feel like? 3 years ago, the market really exploded for Silvestri.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago. So
right at the beginning of the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah. And I missed out on that, and it's going to be a painful get, but it's a get that I know that I need.
Well, yeah, you got to do it because I think it's only going to continue to.
Yep, I agree.
It's funny because I always thought he was a good draftsman, and it just took the market a while to kind of catch up to to where his stuff should be, but I think it's definitely, I don't think it's reached its peaks yet. And
I don't think so either.
This Marvel stuff, to me, is still like his favorite. I mean, my favorite stuff that he does or has done.
Like versus Top Cow stuff.
Yeah.
Me too.
I bought a page when he did that 4 issues, with Grant Morrison on New X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I actually own 2 of them. I just didn't like them. I mean,
they're different.
I kind of liked them, but I didn't want to keep them, and so I did sell them. And it wasn't even a mini golf sale. I got rid of them at a different time, and now I have 2 older vintage pieces, and Uncanny and Wolverine page, and I'm much happier with those. Look at Chuck says Barry Windsor-Smith did the cover to this issue.
Yep, he's he's an FF fan, is my understanding. So I to be honest, I really want an X-Men page from Silvestri. Like when I did read X-Men, it was when he was on pencils. So like that's kind of of course I read when Jim Lee did X-Men, but like Jim Lee was more of a Punisher like artist for me. But Silvestri's always been like my X-Men artist. And if I'm being honest, then I'm probably like marking myself, but I really want a page with the Reavers on it. The human Reavers, like Cole, Macon, and Reese, the guys who used to be the Hellfire Club mercs. That's what I want.
And those ones come up though, They
do. They've just been months. Like, I've been like, really that much? Like there aren't even any X-Men on this page, or they're this big, or I don't know.
Exactly, because I read those in back issues. That's around that period where I stopped reading them. But you would think that those ones wouldn't be as high, but again, it's I think there's not enough of the Silvestri Dan Green pages to go around, for everybody who love the X-Men and love that period. So
the Donnellys have a great one. But
well, sorry, man, but you gotta take care of that.
I know.
In the next 12 months,
got to play these goals. Yeah.
This is another one. I mean, I saw this one early on, and I thought this thing was unbelievable.
It's sick. This is sick, Bill.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
I know. No. This probably gave Jimmy Palmiotti hand cancer.
Don't you think so? This is something that could win the best of. I mean, it's
that. Yeah. I mean, in spite of being Ninjak.
In spite of being Ninjak.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. This is so amazing.
This could be Archie. And if it looked this cool, I would be so into it. Yeah, I mean, what an insane feast for the eyes this is. And like I don't really understand like the Art Nouveau elements in this book. I think it was Quesada's bent at the time. I think he was like, look at how cool this stuff is, and like Lord love him for doing it, because it really brings something special to what is otherwise a meh character in my mind, towards like the middle to the end of like the Valiant, I guess probably biggest Valiant run is when this came along. Now, are his hands too big? Are the sword hilts too small? Like we can argue about that all day, but this thing is just incredible. It's amazing. And like my hat's off to Jimmy Palmiotti for inking this beast.
Yeah. I feel like when they were doing Ninjak, it was like, this was we're just gonna blow people's minds so that we can get whatever gigs we want after this.
And it worked.
And it did. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and that's awesome. You have 2 confident creators working together, knowing that they're working on something that's going to blow people's minds. Yeah, like editors on other from other publishing companies are going to be looking at this saying, we got to get these guys over here.
Right.
And I think that's awesome. I mean, I don't know if that's what they were thinking, but how could they not be thinking that? Because they put so much effort into Ninjak that it doesn't matter that like you said, that look how small his foot is back there. It doesn't matter, because it's just the design is perfect. All the elements on this page are just perfectly placed. It's stunning. And who owns this? I didn't bother looking.
I didn't either. The exaggeration like is there, and it's so potent.
Andre.
The exaggeration is so potent that you almost like ignore it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, I can look at I can stare at this artwork.
I know.
all day.
I'm just mesmerized at it.
Wow. Well, Andre has a very good calf gallery. I think most people know that, but yeah, this one probably deserves a few more views and a few more comments on it because it's just that good. I would be shocked if we don't see this as a top 5 item in the best of 2024 when we get to that point, because it definitely deserves it.
Yeah, well, hopefully he enters it, because I think it could place.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Next up, we got The Mandalorian by Tom Fowler.
So Tom Fowler, I will talk to anybody about as long as they want to talk about Tom Fowler. I think he's so clever. I think he's so talented. I think he's so underrated. He opens up a commission list from time to time, and I highly recommend you get on it, because look at this guy can just draw.
Yeah.
And it's loose, but it's detailed. It's like the line weights are all perfect. He sneaks in like these cartoony elements, like the look of Grogu there. Like Grogu is like cutesy and whatever, but it's also got like a kind of a level of like grit to it while being fun at the same time. His designs are, his compositions are really phenomenal. He does some like insane stuff for a commission. Like he really goes all out on backgrounds. He goes all out on layouts, like things like that. He'll put in like characters that you maybe didn't request that he felt like drawing. I mean, I think as far as a commission experience is concerned, it's hard to beat Tom Fowler, especially at the price. And like, this is a great example.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is a very, very nice piece. I wish it was bigger, because I think the details in these smaller, the smaller details,
they are there and you can pour over them.
Yeah. No, but this is great. It makes me want to do a search for Tom Fowler now on the site. So I'm gonna leave the tab, not close it. I'll save it for later.
Do it for sure, Bill. He's got so much fun stuff up, and like I say, it does. It ranges from like, mild to wild, but like he's a terrific cartoonist.
I agree. The Tom DeLorean. All right. You got it, Jeff. I got my like on this one, and this is in Jared's calf gallery. Congrats, Jared. Let's see. We got 2 more things here. One more thing.
One more thing. I had not seen Alvaro Martinez Bueno do color before, and so when Grant posted this, I was really taken with it. I was kind of floored by it. I love there's like a lot of soul in the face, especially in the eyes, and I have been pretty upfront about the fact that like I don't like the fedora and jacket thing look. It's not a favorite of mine, but the water effect on this, like the richness of the colors, the fact that he chose to just really do tones for the hat and the coat and the shirt, I think really effectively highlights the the orange on the face. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Riddle. I know you of all people are really hurt by this. But I think Alvaro Martinez Bueno is really phenomenal, and I think I honestly, when I commissioned him, I didn't even consider the thing, because I associate him as like he does such great Batman stuff. He does such great like street level hero things. I immediately went Punisher, and when I saw this, I was like, "Ooh, did I make a mistake?" Because this is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's I do like the way he's chose to paint his face like that. I mean, it's slick. I mean, it's not something that I would have thought that he would have done. I agree with your choice on Punisher, right? But yeah, looking at this, it's like, I think you if you would have done a Ben Grimm, you probably would have been pretty happy.
Would not have been sad, yeah. Well, maybe I'll go back to the well one of these days.
Yeah. Well, that's the good thing about our hobby. It doesn't have to be a one and done.
Right.
All right, I got my like on that one. So congrats, Grant. Nice pickup. And then we've got a John Buscema, John Verpoorten, Amazing Adventures #1 page with Black Widow all over it.
Yeah, this is a nostalgia pick. I love Buscema. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as much as I love any Silver Age artist, maybe he's tip top. But this was actually the first quote unquote expensive comic I ever bought when I was a kid. There used to be a comic store in the back of a drugstore in Madison here. And I saw the Inhumans. I didn't even care about the fact that Black Widow was in this, but I saw the Inhumans in the comic, and I was like enthralled with Black Bolt at the time. And so I thought, oh, I got to pick this up, and I did, and I was not disappointed. So this is a nostalgia pick on my part.
No, it's really nice, and yeah, it's a very nice page. It's an interesting, the 6-panel layout, kind of like that is curious. I'm wondering. I mean, you've got John Romita Senior's. Or was that senior? Yeah, senior. It's signature on there too. But no, it's a really nice page. I like you, I think I picked this one up from a comic shop because it was before my time buying books at stores, whether it was the drugstore or a comic shop. So I had to pick this one up in back issues. But no, it's a very fun issue, and it's a great page.
I'm looking at this. I might be a Black Widow fan.
Yeah,
it's weird, but I'm thinking back. I think I've picked Black Widow art like 3 times out of the last like 3 or 4 times I've done picks. Like maybe I'm some kind of weird like subliminal Black Widow fan.
You could be.
I'll talk to my analyst about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I saw CJ said the same thing. I don't quite understand the John Romita sig, but other than that, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's
he probably touched up Black Widow's face or something in panel 5.
Right, and I just kind of glanced at what they wrote, and I didn't see anything. I don't see John's name mentioned down there, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, Buscema probably wanted to throttle him too. Look at those facial expressions, though. This is a great page.
Yeah. Snork self-discovery.
I'm committed to do the work, Grant. I'm going to do the work.
Boy. All right. Yeah. Hey, I mean, you're allowed to like more than one Marvel character.
Thank you.
It's not against the rules.
That's freeing. It's freeing to hear, Bill.
All right, let's get into my picks here. We're 10 minutes past 2 hours, so we're making great time tonight.
We got this.
I think we can do it. Let's see here. Get my screen shared. I'm starting off with a Nick Barucci piece.
Oh, I very nearly picked this.
Yeah, it was like I'm trying not to pick this one, and there were a few pieces that I had that in mind. I was like, I can't pick that one. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And this was on my list. Too. But I don't know. It's to me, Golden Marvel Fanfare #1. When this book came out, the format was unique.
Yeah.
It's like when Dark Knight came out. Again, you were almost as enticed to buy the book because the format was different. And then the thing was, you just were not disappointed by the story and by the art. When you picked up the Marvel fan, it just was, to me, it was just amazing, and so whenever I see any pages from this book, I just love it. And this is just it's everything you want in Golden.
Yeah.
Well, right period, right time.
Yes, I think I said this in my comment on the piece, but like when you see pages from this book, like when you see Golden from like this particular period, you see why he was like the guy at the time. Everybody was like, holy shit, Michael Golden, have you seen this? This is why.
I mean, look at that frog guy there. I mean, this is such a good page.
Yeah.
Yeah, very jealous. Yeah, Nick. I mean, it made me want to. I couldn't wait for the second issue to come out. And that was this stuff was this was wonderful. Anyway, congrats, Nick. You scored a really, really nice page here.
Beautiful.
A lot of people jealous with that one. Then this one's Adi Granav. I just like Adi stuff. It's so subtle and slick and well rendered, and I know this is kind of like more of your classic movie style image, of a team, but it works really well. I mean, even throwing in, just the proportionately different. You got Wolverine's head, you got Cyclops, Professor X, all that. Everybody, it's just an odd layout that just works really well. And
it's a really balanced layout.
without question, and it's tight too. Usually, it's there. He has done something a bit different with it by having this thing really focused in that center like that.
Yeah.
It's unique. I mean, it caught my eye, and I couldn't leave it alone. I kept coming back to it. I'm like, all right, I got it. If you look at a piece like 2 or 3 times and you're picking art, you end up just staying and taking it.
Right.
And so, yeah, this was a good one, and I don't even know whose collection this is. Let's see. Oh, JN80. Well, I mean, JN80 has a very wonderful calf gallery.
Yes, no question.
We've picked a few things out of their calf a few times. Next up, we have I just thought this was an interesting pairing. Now, this is a Batman. It's an Untold Legends page, but it's John Byrne pencils and Jim Aparo inks.
Wow.
And, when I look at it, I feel, this is a John Byrne layout for sure. But I feel like I mean, if he knew Aparo was doing the inking, maybe that might have influenced his design a bit. But I think this is great. You got Robin sliding in, and the trip to Joker, the way this collage of villains around him. I mean, it harkens back to like that. When we look at those wild title pages from DC throughout that always just kind of boggle my mind, right? Well, this could have been done during that era, and I just think that Byrne nailed it. I mean, Byrne led such a he was blessed to be able to do whatever he wanted with whoever he wanted. And I would have to believe when he did this piece, knowing he was working with Jim, that he drew a piece that he knew Jim would just, be able to ink and do it so perfectly and enjoy it that you'd end up with something as beautiful as this. So,
I bet you're right, 100%. And like you got to Batman smiling, Robin smiling, like it's of the era, or of the harkens back to the old era. And like you said, even the expression on Joker's face, John Arnold loves John Byrne. Like, damn, he loves John Byrne.
This is. I love this piece. The moment I saw it, I was like, this one was like one view, and I knew it was going to be my set today.
It's excellent. I missed this somehow.
Well, I'm sorry. But I have another Batman piece. This one I picked. This was in Ken Wong's calf gallery. It was one of the commission pieces that he did. I like Sean's stuff. This was an OAX commission, and I kind of came back to this one a few times. But to me, this is. I just thought, when Sean agreed to do these, he said he was going to do like 2 figure pieces, and what did he get in here? He squeezes in like 6 or 7 characters in this piece, and even a car. At the end of the day, it's like he put in everything in there. And I read Ken's description where he kind of had a subtle set of suggestions for Sean too. And I thought, everybody the commissioner always approaches, what they want to tell somebody differently. And I thought Ken had a kind of interesting approach where he gave just enough direction, and then, but always stopping short, figuring that, Sean would kind of do whatever Sean wanted to do with those suggestions. So this is a great piece. I mean,
this is unreal. The depth, the tone, like you mentioned the characters, but like how the characters are layered together, how the image is all layered together. It's almost like a collage or like a montage of images in a way, to make up, this is like something that you would expect to see as like a trade paperback cover, maybe, or like an annual cover where it's talking about like a lot of different stuff that has happened, or maybe it's a bunch of different stories contained in the same title, and so it's got an element from each one of those. Like, it's got that feel to it. But like, I think the thing that maybe impresses me the most about this is how subtle it all is. Like, a lot of times when you see SGM on Batman, it's very I don't want to say garish, because it's got a negative connotation to it, but it's very like pronounced. It's very like forceful. It's angular. It's like a lot of the stuff that stylistically we associate with him, and in a good way. This is more subdued. It's kind of, even the inking is more like dialed back. It's a little more tame, and it's a little more I don't know. There's more depth to it.
Yeah, agreed. I'm sure Ken was very, very happy when he got this one. Jason said
Very
trade
cool.
paperback too. Yeah. No, well, Ken, congrats. We don't even mind that you have a watermark on there. This is a great piece. Let's see here. I keep coming back to Rizzo and 100 Bullet stuff. I mean, this is. I love the the lamps hanging over the bar or whatever here. I mean, just the way he's using just the negative space. Bringing out the whites to kind of give you the shape of it. The choice of having his face in the shadow like that. I mean, just the storytelling is wonderful, and there's like nothing wrong with this page. It is so it's so awesome. I mean, I don't know why I've never owned anything by Rizzo, but I got to get a 100 Bullets page because these things are I haven't seen a bad one. They're just so good. Look at this.
They all have something, and they all, because it's self-contained and because it was all like designed from start to finish, they all mean something. There are no wasted effort. There are no wasted pages in that story. This is my favorite arc in the book. So that's like doubly cool in my mind. I actually, because of the knife and the lime on the bar, I remember this page specifically, which I can't always say. Like when I see a page, I'm like, yeah, I remember that book, but I might not remember that page. This page I remember. It's very cool.
I agree. It is amazing. And again, who's Calf Gallery? Mario M. 15-year member of Calf. Wow.
It was so infuriating to me back in the day. This stuff, I don't even remember who his rep was at the time, but they were only selling complete issues. Only complete issues. And I was like, well, I'll never get a page. And then eventually like one would break up and they'd be gone.
Well, I got to get one. I need to add this to my short list to get a Rizzo page. So I've featured them enough in my picks that I've got to. Red Sector. Yeah, I think it was Red Sector, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Enrico.
Is Enrico? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was Enrico, who works with the Como folk. All right, we got 5 more to go here. This one is in Mikhail's Calf Gallery. This was a pickup, I think, from back in the fall. This is a Dennis Cowan Deathlock page, and this was, I think I had I sold this during one of my interviews with Dennis, and this was, like one of my top 2 favorite pages that he gave me. It was because these were oversized, so they were just really impressive, just from being much larger. It wasn't like they were 12 by 18. I think they're a little bit bigger than that. So they just were awesome. I literally, when I got these in, I had to place a Bags Unlimited order to get a larger size bag than the larger size bag I already had, because these were they're like a half inch bigger than that. I'm like, son of a gun, I got to buy 100 bags for to ship 10.
But is it like a European paper size or something?
I don't even remember. I mean,
must be.
If Mikhail's here, he could tell us. But I just, Dennis, I like Dennis's style, and I think that it worked so well with Deathlock, and this page in particular is just fun. I mean, I see shades of Magnolia. I think Dennis just I love Dennis's stuff from this period. So Mikhail did well when he picked this page up.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I missed the sale that day, and I think it was ML was really psyched because there was going to be Deathlock art. So yeah,
we had I think we had one page with Punisher on it that went we had 8 people that wanted that one. That was fun. Hopefully, I haven't talked with Dennis about doing another show, but if I do, I'll make sure he brings some more vintage stuff. But yeah, great page, great pickup by Mikhail. Then there was this Stegman Spider-Man cover. I just think there's a lot of good energy in this piece. I love the the blurry effects that make up right through here. I mean, I just
whose gallery is this in?
This is, gosh, who is it? Eric. I didn't realize it was Eric's Calf Gallery. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
Oh
no. But no, this is well, congratulations, Eric. I didn't know. I just like the I like the composition. I like the energy of it. And I think the pairing, is kind of is interesting. And no, I this is one I came back to more than once, and I was just like, all right, if I look at it 2 or 3 times, I got to go with it.
Yeah.
I like it that much.
So he has a weird fetish for he likes having Spidey's mask ripped with his chin out for some reason. So every time I see a Spidey image, I'm like, chin, and I like text it to him. And somehow he has 2 published images now of Spidey fighting Magneto. And I'm like, is this like a sub theme? Yeah, is this a sub theme? Like, how is this even a fight? That's Magneto. He can kick all the X-Men's asses simultaneously, but here's Spidey duking it out.
Yeah, it's an improbable battle. I mean,
it is. It is.
Yeah, but no, this is great, and I don't pick Stegman stuff too often. I mean, its published stuff is always really solid, but I just like this page a lot.
It's a great page.
Yeah, so congrats, Eric. Another Spidey piece in his wonderful calf gallery. Then this one, okay, so it's Gene Cole and Tom Palmer. We pick a lot of that, or I pick a lot of that. This is one where, okay, so I love this panel. I wish this panel wasn't here. And when I was looking at this page,
I get that.
I was almost not going to pick it, and then I felt like, I'm going to pick it because I want to tell people that I wish this panel wasn't there.
I've done that.
I think this is I love it. I mean, because he's throwing the 2 characters down a well.
Yeah,
and I love the composition, but
the perspective.
I don't. That panel in the upper left does nothing for this. Whatever happened.
Totally true.
Whatever happened on that page before this, you don't need. You don't need that panel that he put up there. Right? I mean, and I still love the page, but I had to be critical of it because that was the thing that was going to hold me back from picking it, and I love everything else about the page. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to do it and say.
It's such a strong image, and maybe Bill, if you buy this from the guy, you could just mat that out.
Right, because it should just be this big dead space up there. We don't need to see anything there. It's but
it would be so much more effective on its own if that weren't there, because it would frame the entire image. You just have black up there and circle, the opening to the well, and you could put a dialogue, a bubble up there. You could put whatever you wanted up there, a caption. But yeah, I mean, you're right. That's like editorial fail, if nothing else.
Because you could just have that right there. Toward a black gaping hole, he drags his victims. That's all you need to have there. And then he throws them in it. You don't need a visual for it. And but at any rate, I mean, it's still, this woman, whoever she is, she's rendered incredibly. I mean, this is beautiful Palmer Colin work. And, it almost didn't make the list because of that one panel.
Well, I'm glad you picked it for the discussion point, because I've done that myself, where I'm like, can you believe how great this is, except for this one stupid piece of crap that they did?
Yep, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with this. Who's calf gallery? This Max Fargo. Max has a great eye. Look at this 19-year veteran of comic art fans. I'm not being critical to the, I think this is a fantastic piece. I just think that they could have done it a little differently. All right, I got that off my chest.
Yeah, you feel better, I can tell.
2 more pieces to go. We've got this is Shaken Dudes Calf Gallery, Gene Ha. Yeah, showcase page. I just, I've always liked Gene Ha's artwork, and I just love the rendering in this piece. So the classic feel to the way it's drawn. I mean, look at this; it's just gorgeous, and
his textures are unbelievable.
And, look at that.
Yeah,
this is so amazing. It's like this cannot be drawn by human hand. Right?
Looks like even the way,
exactly. It's chiseled in the same way. He's rendering Batman here. It's almost over rendered in a weird way, but man, doggone it, it's beautiful. Look at it; it's just crazy. I'm in awe. I love it.
It's beautiful, and this is top of his game. This is peak period Gene Ha.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, this is this is like etching for that you'd see on a dollar, on a US bill or something, right? The way that this thing is.
An engraving plate, yeah.
Engraving, yeah. I don't know how you think like that to do that. I mean, and clearly there's a stylistic decision because the way the foliage is rendered and the statuary, it's a little different. He's not using it. It's just in the flesh that he's doing this, and wow, I love this piece. I think it's amazing, even with the Kelly Jones Batman ears on it. I don't mind it.
It's not for everybody. The Kelly Jones ears are not for everybody.
One more piece here in Jason Ladwig's calf gallery. Sorry for saving Jason's piece for last, but here we are. It's Mark Teixeira and
Michael Bear. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But man, this thing is awesome. This is it's a Sabertooth 2, page 19. I just love Sabertooth in this first panel, just all dark, and he's clearly there's kind of reading it. He's got somebody he's got to kill, and it's just like he's going to be jumping across this cat. I mean, it's just beautiful. I love this page.
Man alive, this is great. Bear really adds a lot too. Like he's kind of reining in the texiness a little bit in spots, but adding texture, adding visual interest, that cityscape in the background there is amazing, to be honest. Would you scroll down?
Yep. I was trying to see if there was, because it looks like there's whiteout used for some of the highlights in his face in that first panel.
Yeah. Because I mean, it still clearly reads as Teixeira, but I mean, the inking in the costume on that bottom panel is really refined. Wow.
Yeah, this is a good one. So, man,
the only thing I know Michael Bear from is that I think that Hellstorm mini that he did, where I think he penciled. He probably also inked, but I wasn't aware that this was even a thing. What a great combo!
Yeah, agreed. This is it's beautiful. I'd love to own this page. It's that nice.
Great page. So,
yeah, way to go, Jason. You did well with this one, my friend. Yeah, I'd like to see this one in person. So if you come to OAX next year, you know which piece I'd like you to bring. Oh, he got it at OAX of all things.
Oh,
so I could have seen this one
under your nose, Bill.
Son of a gun. I mean, yeah. Boy, there's a lot of things I missed at OAX.
Thank you, Rich.
I'm gonna have to do portfolio checks when people are leaving the show.
There you go. Inspections.
Yes, exactly. We're gonna have to check your portfolio, please. But anyways, no. Way to go, man. This is a good one. The storytelling is good. I just really enjoyed this piece a lot. And I ended up, I had a kind of a placeholder image for the show graphic, but I made the show graphic this one because I just love that top, with the cityscape and the look on Sabertooth. This was just too good. So,
it's incredible.
Very, very nicely done. We did it. We're a little over 2 hours.
Barely.
Just barely. But yeah, no, this is good. So, you got any trips coming up, or you're in for
Becky's laid up for a few weeks, so we're gonna be chilling until it gets warm out, and then we'll figure something out.
Okay.
I was gonna do C2E2, but man, the guest list is just not there. I don't know.
Huh.
I might still be tempted to go down for one night and hang out with people or something, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, you want to always have a decent guest list. I looked at Emerald City's guest list, and because that was just last weekend, and I didn't think it was great. I was a little surprised because
underwhelming.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, because Jimmy and Amanda was there, and I thought, this might be it. Maybe I could have Jimmy talk to some people, about maybe coming to OX. And I looked at the list, and I'm like, I don't think so. Not this time. So that's kind of weird, right? Because C2E2, I've actually never been to C2E2, but I felt like in the past they've always had a pretty solid guest list.
Yeah, I went the first 3 years, and then it kind of started to fall off after that, and that's when that's about the time I think that Chicago got bought out. Chicago Comic-Con became Wizard, became Fan Expo.
Fan Expo,
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I equated it to guests being wooed one way or the other and don't do both or something like that. But
Mhm.
to be honest, since I started going to Heroes and now OAX, I haven't been to a Chicago show. I haven't been to a Chicago show since before the pandemic.
Well,
Right before the pandemic, I met Albert and Jim Lee and got a commission from Jim Lee at the show before the lockdown. So it was the weirdest experience because I remember saying to Jim Lee, like, "Are you cool shaking hands?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's fine." You know, we got pictures and stuff, but it was right at that time where it was like, "How do we act?" So
yeah, no, that's that's amazing. But the thing is, you might get to a Chicago art meetup before you go to another show in Chicago.
Could be, if someone invites me.
I was just gonna say, well, didn't you? We did promote it on the CAF update last week. Maybe you missed that.
But it was the day before it happened.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
it was a little. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. There's things that we're discussing that I think we're gonna try to help facilitate more meetups and going forward. I'm not going to talk about it, but there are things that we'd like to do and like to see. And I know there's going to be a meetup, I think, in SoCal because Casper's going there towards the end of the month, and he'll be hanging with Mikhail. So I think they're going to be trying to get something done there. But yeah, we've got a few ideas. So if we implement those ideas, I think it'll be cool because we'll be able to promote meetups 4-6 weeks out, and I think that would be beneficial for everybody. Because at least people are so used to kind of doing their their own things, and they got their friend groups.
Facebook,
it's just so we'll start helping out a little bit, but did you see that?
I'm gonna mangle your CEO, Bill. Mangle.
Well, if you read my email today, he's my SEO.
Oh.
I wrote that he's CAF's SEO, and so
hopefully he does some of that.
Did I hear about? I was like, doggone it! I actually took a nap right after. I was so tired. I sent that email and I laid down for a half hour, and I should have proofread it a little bit better before I sent it out. But anyway,
the S is for sexy. It's sexy executive officer.
That's right. See, look at that.
Yeah, come on, Casper. You gotta roll with the punches, pal.
Oh yeah, Casper says we're untapped friends now. So
we are. So I can mangle you and we can drink beer.
Oh man. All right. Well, listen, everybody, we sincerely appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. And I've got tomorrow off, but I've got 2 shows on Saturday. So please keep that in mind. 2 shows. I'll be on at noon with Nir Levy. We'll be talking about his current Zoop crowdfunding project, Age of Canaan. And then I have a sales show and interview with John McCrae at 2:00. So I'm going to keep the first show to definitely no longer than an hour and a half, so we can all have a half-hour break and then hang out with John McCrae, because I think that's going to be interesting. I've never spoken to John before. So when a guy sends you, when I say send me a picture of yourself, for the slide, and it's him in a boxing pose, it's probably going to be an interesting so
that'll be a good time.
Yeah, definitely. So tune in on Saturday. Thank you as always. Enjoy the day off tomorrow, and